right, left, left, left.
So as you can see, Matt's back on the Tinder train.
Left.
Managed to stave off for a couple of months, but back on the bench train right now.
That's a left.
I said, well, that was a selfie.
Well, it was loading. Actually, that's a right. Left.
What is that?
No, we'll go right. All right. Here's the thing. What a week of news in Counter-Strike. We knew post-major there would be lots of updates heading our way. And now we've got them. Fnatic is back. The boys are back.
Back in town.
They've got Dennis, they've got Crims, they've got JW, they've got Flusha, and they've got Olaf Misterra. They're back. The boys are back.
They're back. One thing, though. Do you remember why the original Fnatic or the original lineup
What did you say?
broke up? But do you remember why the original Fnatic lineup broke up?
I thought you
or
said
the old
something
one?
else.
Oh, no.
They had internal roster issues. It was post-injury from Olaf. They started losing after they were so used to winning, and that always inevitably creates a rift.
Yeah. But do you remember what the...
Because JW wanted to be kicked by Olaf?
I think there was a couple more.
And
But,
Flusha said no.
Yeah, and that's how Godsend happened.
Yeah.
Now they're back.
Yeah.
You see any changes? You think it's going to be all rosy in the Fnatic camp?
I think they all have a common ambition to win, which therefore I think means that they will do what they can no matter what. As a result of that, I think that for the first few months they'll be tolerant of losing while they rebuild the team. That said, if there are issues, I think JW would be the first to go. He did show in the major that he's looking like his old self. He's getting back to style of some capacity. And if he can perform, that's great. If he can't, I think you bring Twist back. But it sounds like Twist is... He's on Godsend temporarily, but there's rumors he's going to Michaelele's new team. Yeah. Michaelele. Okay, sorry.
Well, there we have it. So, what kind of potential roster changes are left to be announced now, actually? Are
the Optic replacement.
Yeah, well, yeah, so it's not official that Hiko. Yeah. I guess, yeah, Twist to
Michaelele's team. And Jacob AZ.
Yeah, AZ for North.
Scream for AZ to North, Rubino to the new team.
Yeah.
What else has been rumored? Oh, Phelps to SK.
Oh yeah, that hasn't been confirmed yet. Feels like that's just a done deal, though.
Mouse Sports made the change already to bring Oscar back from Chris J's removal.
Yeah. I guess Chris J's new team could be interesting.
Let me bring up HLTV. I know there's more rumors than that. There's one other spicy meatball.
One spicy meme.
Top 20, top 30. Click it as of January 30th. Astralis, no changes. Virtus Pro, no changes. SK gonna have a change. Optic gonna have a change. FaZe gonna have a change. North gonna have a change. That is teams 3 to 6 are going to have changes in their rosters. That's the rumors, at least. 4 is inevitably going to. SK is inevitably going to. FaZe and North are rumored. NIP, no changes as far as we know. Fnatic just made their changes. Plus 12 spots on the back of doing so because they pick up the points from all the other players. That's pretty impressive that they jump quite far.
I like the fact that
January 30th,
still on the map,
changed.
though. So they don't have a team.
Who? Yeah, I know, right? Because it goes, but yeah, it hasn't been confirmed through HLTV in terms of roster moves. Na'Vi, no changes. Envy, big changes, but we don't even know where or what at this point in time. Cloud9, no changes except for I think Valens is coaching now or something was said. I don't know if it's official or not. Gambit, no changes. G2, massive changes. We saw those. Godsend, big changes. Saw those. Mouse Sports already made a change. Liquid brought in Stanislaw.
Yep. Immortals picking up at FNX. I guess that's just off the back of Phelps going to SK.
Kingwin, no changes. Immortals changes because Phelps is probably going to be swapped with FNX. Flip side, no changes. Hellraisers, no changes. Space Soldiers, Zantares is number 1. Heroic, we just saw a change from them. Katie and in for Freeze. Epsilon, I'd have no idea. Who cares? Renegades, don't know who cares. iGames rated number 25. They just got knocked out of this tournament by a Bulgarian team.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they maintain that number 25 spot. Big, no changes unless Chris J decides to go there. LDLC, there's going to be big changes. Tai Lu, still waiting to see what's going to go on with them. Vegas Squadron, don't care. Vici Gaming, Cyberzen, don't care. So there's where we are.
We have it. Quick update on the 30 best teams in CS as of right now. Brought to you by Matt. Sidicist, Tribute.
Hashtag drop the bomb.
Yep. So we've got a game on our hand, actually. And I'll let you pronounce the Finnish team that we're going to be seeing.
Let me bring up HLTV for that, too. I got to see it spelled out here. It is... Do you want to talk about maps while I do that? They're right there.
Yeah, I can do that.
It is... Rynnäkköviikset. 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 I can't remember.
Rynnäkköviikset.
So there you go. That's who it is. Assault Mustaches. They're playing
Dizlown,
which is a French side, with Petit Skill, who I think played with. Who did he play with last time we saw him? Was he with Millennium?
Last time
or
I
was he the old LDLC Blue?
The last I remember seeing him playing in a team, like a proper team, was Baiki when they played the ESWC qualifier and beat out Titan.
Jesus.
So then we're going way back.
Yeah, really.
He's playing with...
Give me something I can work with.
Playing with Pollux, Lambert, XPG, and Meta. They've all been around in the French scene, like the tier below your NVs and G2s, obviously. They've been around for a while.
Yeah, it was Millennium.
Oh, it was Millennium.
It was
okay,
Millennium for a bit.
And LDLC Blue, so you're right on both accounts.
Yeah, see, it's like I do this for a living.
Damn, who would have thought? Yeah, but the maps are going to be, Nuke, which is the map pick of the Finns. Then we go on to Cash, which is the map pick of the Frenchies. And as a decider, we're going to end up on Dust 2. So not about 3 maps to get things going. This is going to be one of the last times we see Dust 2, actually, Matt.
That's actually accurate. You're 100% correct. We don't know what Pro
Does that
League's
make you
doing.
sad, though?
No.
No?
Good riddance.
Oh, okay.
Never loved it as much as the rest of the community did. They all thought it was...
You're a hater?
They're offering me sandwiches. Would you like a sandwich?
No, thank you.
No,
we're good for now.
We're good. So he's taking it away.
No.
There was a lot of bananas there, though. I'd have another banana.
You have plenty of bananas.
Interestingly, do I? Banana for scale.
Yeah.
Interestingly, yeah, this is the last time we could see Dust 2 in a while. We don't yet know what exactly is happening with Pro League. It'll be one of the last times, inevitably. Yeah. Now, that said, I'm not really one that has nostalgia for Dust 2. Yeah, it's a crucial part of the game since 1.6. It's gone through all iterations of Counter-Strike being the map that everyone gets its introduction to Counter-Strike on. I don't have to share the same affection. I think it's fine, but I've never loved it.
All right, that's fair enough. Fair enough. I see that there has been some mixed emotions, I guess, around it. For a lot of the teams, obviously, the teams that are good on Dust 2, not too happy about the change. Obviously, teams that veto Dust 2, super happy about it. And in any case, we're into the pistol round, and this is going to be a quick upper push from the Finns. Jescu already finding the return frag onto Pollux, and that leaves, well, Petit Scale all by his lonesome down at the upper bomb site. Oscar's going to find him, and Meta on top of Heaven here, but he's getting pushed in from behind as well. The quick rotation coming in from XPG leaves him in dire straits, and let's pistol for the CT side. And I have to remember, this is the Finns map pick, but the Frenchies aren't unfamiliar with Nuke either. They played that deciding map in their quarterfinals on Nuke, where they won, I think it was 16-10 versus Singularity.
Singularity. It's a song by a band called May. I think it was an album. M-A-E.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, Nuke. I like Nuke.
Yeah, I like the fact that you bring up the mini-map on Nuke, because it actually doesn't do
reveal
anything at all.
It just, yeah, it's a bunch of stacked up bull crap.
Yeah.
So Jescu, excuse me, is going to be, I like how he took the E's off, because yesterday I was saying Jescu, he was probably like, God damn it, Sato Kid, let me make it easier for you.
Still not jet ski. So
maybe I'll call him jet ski today, and he'll have to switch it up. As a result, Lambert, though, outside with the scout's going to try and find some information as to what the terrorists are up to. Classical scout buy in the second round as well, and he's going to take the window out so he can get a better shot towards Secret, but he's given up that position, which means the rotations have to come through ramp. Zoskiu's already made his way into the lower site. He's got Tech 9 to work with. Mobility, a factor. Vent rotations has already happened as well. And a good shot, 17 HP for Oscu as he continues to cross to try and get in toward the site.
Yeah, Pollux and Meta already down on the bomb site, just waiting to receive whatever T's come out here. So he's going to open the door. It's going to drag the attention of Meta for a little while, but it doesn't seem like the Finns are interested in actually committing to the lower bomb site. Most of them moving back up towards main here. They're going to run into Petit Scale. He's going to find 2 easy kills.
Oui, oui, Petit Scale. Oui, oui, c'est bon. He shuts down another one inside of the main hut, so the main entrance, rather. Good job for him. 2-0 for Dizlown.
And already a pause.
Is it Dizlown or Dizlown?
I have no idea.
Or Dizlown.
Dizlown.
Let's go with Dizlown.
Dizlown. This is solid. Technical pause because Jet Ski, we're going to call him Jet Ski from now on.
Jet Ski.
Might have his headset on the wrong way around.
That is unreal.
That is
actually incredible. Why does he have the technical pause for that? Just take it off and swap it. How is that a technical pause? Takes 2 seconds.
Idea. Gets a clap from the audience. Well deserved. There we have it.
That guy right there, little wave of was just on. He's look at him with the water bottle. He looks like a sophisticated gentleman for his age.
Sophisticated Jane? You were never that. As a young and growing up, were you?
Jesus, no, I was a loose cannon.
You were a mess.
Yeah, I was a wild card. I was a wild man. Hey, we're back in the game.
Nice.
As Dizlown's going to put ZPG over in toward the ramp room with UMP, excuse me. I was about to say an SMG, which it is, but a UMP to be more specific. And they'll drop over top of the railer where they wrap toward the turnpike. They force 2 players down the ramp as well, which is the right play. We often talk about that. Staying efficient, backing up, not giving them any kills early on entry. But they choose to wrap. And with 2 players on ramp, it's less likely a player's on turnpike, but it still works out for the French side as they'll get kills aplenty. And Slow is going to walk back around to find Lampert. That's the only one thus far on the T side, and the scout picked up amounts to nothing at all.
Yep. So, solid anti-eco rounds from the French team so far. And are you going to go with ZPG or XPG?
Oh, yeah, I called him ZPG. X is the...
X is the way to go about
give
it?
it to you.
All right.
He gonna give it to you. X gonna give it to you. Shout out to Thorn. Yeah, I'll go with XPG. I'm sorry, I knew better.
You better. Decided not to do it, though.
I'm sitting about 40 yards from the monitor that I'm casting off of.
You do have a monitor a tiny bit closer.
Well, it's purple.
That is true. Well, Meta gonna push aggressively to find Jesmond as he jumps on top of the boxes out in yard. Actually managed to evade Slowy as well. So, scot-free entry frag or opening frag for the French. Already off to a good start here. Haven't really bought fully into this round either. Lampert has been taken out to 8 HP, did buy up an op, but otherwise it's more or less the same weaponry as we saw in the anti-ecos. So he's gonna drop down in front of me. Searching for that frag out in yard, not gonna find it though. And meanwhile, Lampert has found a frag onto Osku. So dwindling in numbers.
Ooh. Missed shot from Meta, an opportunity he should have seized upon because Slow was able to turn back with 5 HP and nail the shot.
He's forgiven though. He had a FAMAS.
No
a man can only do so much with a FAMAS.
No, you're wrong. They can do everything with FAMAS.
Pollux though, in a brilliant position here. He's gonna wrap around behind 2 players if he didn't even survive for that long. Actually, Eyeless is gonna take out XPG, but there we go. The return frags come in. There's only 1 man left in a 2v1 situation. Eyeless is gonna have to. Well, he's actually gonna fake the bomb plant, see if he can draw any French players out. Lambert's low on HP though. That does play a pretty big advantage here. Well, Eyeless can't find anything immediately. Oh, actually, is Pollux gonna go for this now?
Oh, shot in.
That's unfortunate timing for Eyeless. Eyeless and Jesmond, the game we got to see Assault Mustaches play, I think it was Mirage.
Yep.
Had a very, very good game.
He did.
So
you're not lying to us, Vendetta. At least
I
would
never lie to you, man.
It's good because I kill you, so it's probably smart not to lie.
Yeah.
An eye for an eye makes the world go blind, but a lie just gets you killed.
Here we have it. Words of wisdom. Well, Dizlown, knowing that there's going to be an eco abound, gets an MP9 to restock on XPG. Lambert obviously not going to drop that off, even though he's up against an eco. This is time for them to make some more money. Petit Skellis survived a long time with that UMP in hand as well, and XPG's already making back here.
And Zetsky with a shot. Started, but watch inside of the radio push. That MP9, that little sewing machine's doing decent work to start things off in the hands of XPG. Pollux will manage 1 kill as well, dropping back in the French side, looking absolutely perfect thus far. CT side of Nuke, which is still the favorite side ever so slightly in the current version of Nuke, but that only applies if teams play it and play it often, because you have to really establish a set routine, smokes toward outer, and good timings, and as such, if you don't play it often, it's still very CT-sided.
Exactly. And Slowy nearly made it a very costly round for the Frenchies. Actually managed to one-shot Lambert out in garage, but they managed to hold on to that off thanks to Meta, and he's able to drop it off to Lambert, so no harm done as of right now. French side up 5-0. We haven't really seen too much happening for the French, enough for the Finns, and well, there we go. Lambert with the aggressive push. I like this though from the CT side. Basically not letting the Ts get into their comfort zone as soon as they're on a buy. It's gonna make the job so much tougher as well. A lot of utility down the drain. They only really have smoke and 2 Molotovs to work with here to try to gain some ground. And then the defense on the French side is already very strong. Lambert being very active actually. Rotated over to Secret now. It's gonna find Osku as well. Slowly, not in time to actually reply to that. And Lambert's just constantly running with that up. I like seeing that.
Do it. Run. Don't stop. Can't stop. Addicted to the up run.
Red hot chili peppers.
He's going to hit the shot for fun. Eyeless is looking through the squeaky door. But don't forget that's your mother's flashbang. Eyeless can't see through those eyes now because he's fully blinded up. He's going to back away with the AK-47. Down 2, trying to get inside of the sight. Rotating around, he's found by Skill, who's gone toward the rafters and covers Hut with emphatic grace.
Bomb being dropped as well in lobby. Slowly has to go pick that up if he wants to attempt the round, but it doesn't look like it. 25 seconds left. He's heading off to T-spawn to save that weapon. Jetskew stuck in vents, didn't really do a whole lot that round. Not going to be able to do much else as the time ticks down. I like this though. Aggressive playstyle from the Frenchies. It's definitely paying off. Just setting the T side off balance right from the get-go.
You know, I'm having a good time not commentating, so I'm going to ignore you, Twitch chat. It's 5-0 though, goes to 6. Time expires, and no bomb plant yet again. I think that's going to mean only thus far. In fact, none. There's been no bomb plants. I thought on round 2 they actually managed one. They haven't. This is a massive loss, and it goes. I haven't seen enough outer execution at this point in time. Money's massive as well, as you point out, on the CT side. As such, they have not kept close rounds, but I haven't seen the outer executions. At the very least, in this version of Nuke, the most simplified thing you can do is run a wall of smokes, get to secret, and force the CTs to move. You have to create movement on fast rotation maps. You have to cause chaos. We see it all the time with North, how Cajun B is constantly moving on purpose of the CT side, but as soon as you start to get him out of position and time it correctly, that's when North breaks down, and they're one of the better Nuke teams. More teams need to put emphasis upon that. I don't even care about blowing out the skylights, which Henry and I often talk about. I don't care about running set smokes and defaults, so they are going to blow up the skylights right now, so Slow is going to try and do so. All I care about, and the reason you do this, obviously, is to mask the facts that you could use it when you want to without giving it away as soon as the glass is broken. I don't care if you're not doing that. The one thing you need to know is an outside execution at very least. Running this choke point at ramp, it doesn't work without a split cause and distraction, because as soon as you kill the player on ramp, look, already. Oh, okay, take it back. The point I was going to make is Meta walks into Turnpike, they pinch you in, and they still have a rotation plan for it. Good kills found, though. It does at least accommodate itself to opening up the map ever so slightly.
Yeah, but your point still stands because they do get the return frags on ramp eventually, but by that time, they've lost the window of opportunity to get down into lower, get a safe bomb plant before the rotations comes in from the CT. So, still a tough task for the Finns here, for the Salt Mustaches, to actually get anything done. And they're right about now just kind of waiting at ramp room, hoping that somebody's going to go aggressive from the CT side, rotate over, but that's not happening. Lambert's positioned nicely behind the silo here at bottom. He's going to get mollied out, though.
He's got good position in this silo, though, to guess correctly, and he's got 2. Askew is the next of which he will take down. Jetskew is going to come back into him, though, and take down Lambert immediately after. It leaves him alone. Bomb in his hand, 16 HP, as he's got to get toward the site with 9 seconds. Quick tap on the bomb to try and bait out the shot, and I'm wondering if Jetskew has his headset on backwards, because he looks toward Toxic when 2 players are clearly to his left.
It would be impressive if he managed to put it on the wrong way twice.
Which means maybe he had it on the right way the first time, but he confused himself. Technical timeout, my headset is on backwards.
Well, 7-0 start for the French team, and it's Eco City for the Finns. Not looking great so far, but it's like you talked about, if you're not a very proficient team and you're not well practiced on this map, playing T-side is still going to be a massive uphill struggle for you. The Frenchies being pretty proactive on their CT side as well, which is good to see. Right now, leaving yard completely open, actually. A bit of a change up from them as the inner push comes in from the Finns. Disman finds one, so it's an equal trade so far, but still a lot of CTs alive here. Not being found. Well, as I say that, Jetskew finds Meta on top of Hut. Bomb's about to be planted. Retake positions on this upper bomb side with only 1 vent is really tough to do. Lambert goes down, and Disman finds XPG as well to close out the round. So 7-1 on a successful Tech 9 upper rush. Not something you see every day. And now, though, they do get a big slump of money winning on an eco round or a force buy round, as opposed to barely scraping out a win in a buyout round. Still, though, full buy on the French side.
You gotta love it. The money.
Money, money, money.
Money, money, baby, as Henry G would say.
Henry says the weirdest things.
Henry says the damnedest things.
Yeah, there should be a show about him,
It's
actually.
nice that I don't have to cast them every now and then.
Throwing Henry under the bus.
Oh no, that bus ran him over years ago. He's just dragging the corpse along the ground at this point behind it.
Henry G is Season 8 of Walking Dead. Confirmed by Sadicist. Well, a bit of a slower approach from the T's right now. They still seem really adamant about going towards that ramp room where XPG has been doing a good job of actually getting frags. 3 men slowly pushing forward, and a great opening from Eyeless there. Down the man goes on ramp, and this is what you talked about. If you can get the immediate frag, leave yourself in a much better situation than when you get stalled out, but they still haven't seen the one defending. Well, I was about to say they haven't spotted out Meta at the bottom of the site, but Oscar finds him, and a 5v3 retake on the lower bomb site. That might be tough. Bomb goes down as well. Bullock's just not in time.
They got the opener though. That's the important one. That first kill before they can retreat into safety. Lux is going to try and pop himself back out. Does in a timely fashion, but it's Petite's skill to get the trades. This brings it to a close, or does it? Because there's not yet enough time, and it's going to be just enough for Oscar to sit inside of the toxic position and nail the shot. So 7-2 for Dizlown. But that's the second round for the Finnish side, and money's dwindling on the CTs. They haven't broken it yet, but they could do so immediately after this.
We are already, you can see that bank. The French bank is starting to suffer UMP on Petite Scale. He did do fairly well for himself with that at the beginning of the game. Now, though, seems like the Finns are coming back into it, and now we're seeing some movement out towards yard. All being posted up. Slowly's going to find an early flag after Lambert, and Pullix goes down as well. No return frag in sight. 11 HP on Osku, but still alive, and that's what matters. Very quick movement here. Oh, Meta with a quick rotation from under heaven. Finds Oscar though. Still a man advantage for the T side though. They've committed pretty heavily to yard. Smokes down everywhere, so they do have quite a bit of leeway how to move down in towards Seeker if that's what they want to do. They're actually going to rotate back off of this. So a lot of utility expended, but no ground gained. Do leave one man left. That's Eyeless out in yard, so he might be working as a lurk as the round goes further, but it remains to be seen. But with the limited utility, it's interesting to see what the Finns are planning to do here. They do have a smoke and a flash, and oh, it's going to be main split here. Blow up the door. Let's see what happens.
Smokes go through. That'll cover off the main entranceway as the flash follows. And Jesmond and Eyeless combine for one on Meta on the way through. Slow, caught off guard in the fact that XPG has slipped in behind, and he'll take down the AWP player who's looking to rafters. Leaves him low and in the corner, and as such, Jetskew is going to be able to pull him back immediately. The wraparound outer is the right idea. I like the convergence upon the upper site. That flash is going to blind up Jetskew, though, and it leaves him very low on HP as he tries to back down the vent for a desperate plant at lower. And it's 8-2 with a reset hitting the Finnish side. Still enough to buy because only 2 players are low, so they'll do it. I am sure they'll fit worse here. You need to.
Yeah.
They go pistols. That's discipline. I would have gone for rifles.
Maybe too much.
Okay,
Oh, there we go.
It is. Yeah. So
Eyeless man's up, and there eventually Oscar does as well.
But Jetskew stays with 1900. He looked like he wanted the semi-buy and let everyone stay on pistols. He stays. Okay, no, he does. Yeah. 1900. That wasn't a false HUD information. So he could have actually get away from the Tech 9, maybe get rid of the head armor because you're up against M4s and SMGs, which does change things, sure, but you can easily pull out a rifle instead, and he's going to be the only one to get a kill, suffice to say, on that Tech 9. So I'm surprised by that as they rush upper in a desperate attempt to try and get yet another bomb plant.
Yeah, worked out in the last force buy. Doesn't this time around. Better Molotov placement from the Frenchies. Allow them to hold it off with fair ease. It's going to stabilize things a little bit. Still not a great economy running for the Frenchies. You can see 2 UMPs, 1 from Oz. Still have that up on Lambert. Lambert has been fairly active with it so far, but it's Petite Skell who's actually dragging them along. 17 kills for him. He picked up a lot of eco-frags, though, that has to be said.
Pullix to the top of the hut, watches out toward the main entrance as Lambert rotates outer with the off. Good shot onto Eyeless. Jesmond will follow, so too does Slow. Oskew next to join them inside a very tiny casket that has 5 torn apart corpses inside of it at this point because Jetskew is found by Pullix. And bitches ain't shit, but it's 10-2.
There we have it. Oh. Still opportunities here for the Finns to actually make this a decent half. I think 10-5 if you're a mixed team playing Nuke, that should be something you can be happy about. Obviously, you need more than 2 rounds because you need that buffer for the pistol, but there is still hope, and they will have a buy right now. Let's see if they move towards ramp like they have done a lot of the times. But Lambert's going aggressive here. Oscar's gotten into a better position, though. Oh, still not going to matter. Quick trigger finger from Lambert there. Meta's got to follow up on Eyeless, too. So 5v3 already, only 25 seconds into the round.
Slow's already starting to work inside of the main entrance. AWP in hand. Oh, does he see the foot? He does now. Sees the head even better. Takes down Petite Skill. Pollux, meanwhile, though, had taken down Skew immediately beforehand. So they're still down 2. Lovely shot from Slow, who seems to be quite quick, if I'm honest. Got a chance to spot behind the silos on site as well. Sees a kneecap. And the Adventurer doesn't take an arrow in the knee, so he'll stay alive on 13 HP as Slow gets tagged in return.
Slow, ooh, might get caught up by Meta here. And he will. So that's off down. Jessamine left to his own devices. He's going to have a rough time bringing this back for them. Meta, well, does decent tag damage down to 32 HP. Jessamine still has quite a bit of way to go to make it to a bomb site. Pollux is going to execute him as he walks in through main, and that's ZT surviving with 2 members. Economy starting to build again. And, well, it's a sad story for the Finns. They don't have enough money to buy up here unless they want to go with Tech 9s and a lot of utility.
Double op setup as well on Nuke. You can run one in ramp. You can run one at outer or at heaven. With eyes on outer and a rotation to rafters should it be required. And they're going to go for the ramp immediately with XPG flashed off. That op now has a problem because tight proximity and angles to play in lower. Quick Molotov on the ramp and an attempt to hold them off. It's not a choke point, Molly. It's just a buy space and time Molotov. Forcing him back, though, that does bait out a little bit of utility from the CT side, and they've backed away. On heaven, Eyeless hits a shot. Watch, because the WP's gone away. It's onto the pistol, and over the top goes Oskew. He's like Oscar the Grouch, almost Vendetta, but not quite. It's very different, in fact.
So close, but so far away. Oh, nice shot from Slowy there. Takes out Lambert, and all of a sudden it's falling apart. Only Petite Skill left alive, and it's barely even done any damage to the T side. Just been down on 32 HP, but that's about it. It's the only redeeming thing here for the Frenchies is the fact that not a lot of weapons have been picked up just yet, but Jessamine does pick up an AK as well. This is looking swell if you're the Finns. Not a lot Petite can do in this kind of a situation. Probably better off just saving his weapon, drop it for XPG as he messed it into an op as well. Does find Slowy out and about looking for a weapon. Might actually not be able to make it out of here. Does find a second one onto Eyeless as well. And nobody else from the T side is anywhere near to actually trade him for now. Just going to make it back into CT spawn. We'll be able to hold on to that Colt. Again, though, I think XPG would have some explaining to do as in terms of what the hell he was doing at ramp room there. And kind of open the floodgates and spell disaster. There we are. Still pretty comfortable lead for the Frenchies. Going into the last round, they're going to have a full buy. Not full utility. And, Meta even has a Zeus picked up. Again, Salt Mustache just moving towards ramp, but Lambert's going to find the first frag out in yard.
It's Rynnäkköviikset.
Rynnäkköviikset.
Viikset. But yes, Salt Mustache. Oh, timing is everything for XPG, who looks to spray down, but there's 3. And he'll go down as Eyeless gets the shot. But Eyeless, he's been playing somewhat like a bot. He shan't not continue such performance as they do look to take over the dormant B site. It's going to be Lambert that backs away, and Petite Skill hoping that they don't wrap Turnpike. They still haven't rotated. Bomb's going to be planted. Now's the opportunity to go through the vent and take a shot in toward Jessamine at decontamination. That'll open things up to a 3 versus 2 as they try and find a way inside of the site still as it's fortified from the control room, and a lovely shot from Skew. As soon as the door opens at decontamination, he's already preset with crosshairs placement, and he's got the shot on Dizlown. Has a skill to go down. Lambert's just going to go, screw it. I got another smoke. I've got, well, never mind. Actually, I have a Molotov. I pulled the wrong thing. Now I'll smoke it. He's actually on it. He's got the right lineup, but they just find him in time.
They are. So if they do make it to 4, that does mean that they have the buffer for the pistol round at least, but still very decent half from the CT side. And they're not having any breaks in the halftime, just going right back into it. Ebot's even speeding up. That's the quickest 10-second countdown I've seen in a while. There we have it. As you can see, Petit on 19 frags. Doing pretty well for himself. It's Jetsku to lead the charge for the Finns. We're now going to play the CT side. Pistol obviously being very important.
CT side starting now at the pistol that they must win to make it 11-5 and potentially close things up. Remember, we did see this scoreline in our last game.
It's true.
But LGR could not close. Nice light, no cigar. It's all about the finish.
Yeah.
And Slow sits on top of the A site, trying to dance around behind. The Silos manages, one goes to the knife. It's going to be a back and forth exchange, and he actually does land it. So he'll have money moving forward. What he doesn't have his teammates because they've all died. You know what I mean. Just skew. He's going to close it out, and it is the win for the CT side. And Slow, well, money, baby.
He's got tons of it. I don't think he's going to bust out the AWP, though, like we saw Cirque do.
Circus survive.
Anthony Green. Here we are. So they do get off to the right start. Much needed start as well. They're going to go very UMP heavy here. So focusing on the utility instead. Not a bad choice by any means. Slowly being the only one who's going with the Colt, seeing how he did get that knife kill. Well, French team slowly making their way forward in yard here. Smoke's down. Bit of a smoke wall here. Going to try to make their way down into secret without getting spotted. And well, if there's no early, like premature rotation coming in from the CTs here, this could actually be somewhat problematic. He's slowly pushed into. Ooh, slowly pushed into Squeaky, but Meta's going to find Eyeless pushing into Hut here. Jesman, though, is downstairs waiting. And a bit of a strange jump there coming in from Petit Skill. Jesman's going to land 2 because of it. Finds his 3rd as well with the USB, and that's Lambert all by his lonesome. We'll find 1 frag.
Yeah. 1 and potentially done, though, because he's picked up a UMP. That's a bomb and some armor to work with. But he's going to be confronted by Slow, who lets him know that it shall not go into the site. To raise the... I should have gone with, yeah, something else closer to down by the bay, where the motto rounds go. Please take over, Vendetta.
God damn.
Look, I'm just trying to keep my energy up. We've got a long day.
I like it. All right. Well, eco time for the Frenchies, and Finns are starting to mount that comeback that we talked about being possible on the CT side. No real investment being made by the French. 1 PT-50 picked up, but that's just about it. And should be a pretty easy time for the Finns to actually hold this off. They've given up yard completely, so ground is being given, but that said, you're not allowed to plant the bomb in yard.
Yeah, you can do it. Why not?
And not everyone can bend the rules like you can.
I mean, you can just, all you can do is type in the code wherever you are. It's just, you won't destroy the target as intended.
I mean, if I could set up a bomb anywhere just to clear out sites, that'd be nice. Or clear out outside sites, I'd do it.
You sound like a Call of Duty fan. As Lambert is going to make his way into the control room. He's done so in a silent fashion, but still gets caught as Skew turns around. Now this gives Meta a chance to try and sneak up into the new heaven position with the Raptors, but Slow wraps back around. He catches him off. And XPG dead on arrival as Jasmine waits for him at the top of the ladder.
There we have it. 7 rounds on the board, and that's 4 rounds, no, 3 rounds straight for the Finns. But now we're going to see the first buy round coming in from Dizlown. See what they're going to be able to do. No AWP in the hands of Lambert this time around. Economy doesn't allow for it. Not really a whole lot of utility either. They have 5 smokes though, and a Molotov, so might set up for that secret passage, the wall of smokes. Or the smokes are going out in yard as well.
Eyeless will back away to watch off Squeaky Door as Oskew finds a way inside of Raptors to watch off the main entrance. So they've got a crossfire set. One position not necessarily covered by those 2 alone, although I think there's a 3rd on top of the site, is the Hut position. That's going to be covered. I do see a 3rd man. I can't tell who inside of that position right now. as Oscu will smoke off the hut. Slow down below. Okay, so I take it back. Slow down below, rotates away. So there's only 2 on upper, so that smoke on hut is important, but more importantly, they take the bomb down ramp. That'll buy space. Here comes the turnpike rotation, but no kill. As XPG manages to get the shot in return onto Jesmin, this will open up a rotation into lower from the terrorists, with Lambert as well working in from secret. They could pinch in the CTs, and Lambert spotted a player on the stairs. That player's turned back around as he looks the wrong direction, but thankfully his Spider senses turn him around to find the web before it's weaved. And Slow will fall as Oscu and Eyeless look to rotate down through vents.
It's going to be a tough rotation to make as well. Only one vent available. It does make CT rotations a lot harder, regardless if you're going up or down. And it seems like they might be thinking twice about it. Eyeless doesn't seem too interested in actually going for this. Throwing a couple of flashes will actually drop down into vents now that Oscar's made it closer, but still gets taken out by XPD, who just charges in from decontamination room. Leaves Oscar alone. We'll find the frag onto XPG, but still 2 men to go. And with that much damage done, not a lot of hope left, and Dizlown get their first round on the board.
Do indeed. As Oscu look back at his performances in this particular round. Wasn't great, was it? Just died as soon as he rounded the corner.
Definitely not optimal. Still though, actually, auto shotty being brought out by Slowy here, so assuming he's going to be playing close doors or something to that effect, maybe hut. He's definitely playing on that inner bomb site. It could definitely be effective. I think it's Hiko who started pulling that out more and more often.
He definitely did. I think he did it back as far as his GX days when Nuke was introduced. He was early in Liquid when it was reintroduced.
Yeah.
But back in the GX days and late Cloud9 days, he was wielding the weapon in regular seasons of what at the time was known as ESEA Invite. It's now obviously been transferred into what is the ESL, ESEA, EPL Pro League.
Pro League.
Side angle for Skew. He's going to swap it out. He's got 1 and 2. Jesmin has the third. A quick reload, and he's found his third in his particular front. So 4 players down inside of that ramp room, and 2 players converging for all the kills. It's going to be slow to close it out. And it goes another round to the Francais side, or excuse me, to the Finnish side.
Yeah.
Which makes it 12-8.
XPG being way too late on actually getting that trade kill onto Jetsku. No way he should be allowed to actually get that reload through, and then he just got Slowy. Getting 1 kill with the auto shotgun. Could have picked up an AK, decided not to. Decided to teabag the guy he met in T-Man instead, actually. So priorities in check for the Finns. And Slowy not dropping down just yet. There we go. So auto shotgun on site. And Tech 9 Force Buy from the Frenchies.
Well, Plix on top of Twinkie. Gonna hold ground steadfast with his Tech 9 and drop down to try and take advantage of the new position. We keep calling it new. It's not even the newest map in the pool anymore because Infernu is upon us, but advantage of Catwalk to drop down into main entrance. Which that catwalk position does make a main entrance wrap a lot more viable.
Definitely does.
Oh, that nade. Was that a nade? Or was that a flash? Doesn't matter. Because in a dash, everyone's going to crash inside of the site, but they find a kill back from Petite Skill. As Jesmin will fall at the hands of the Tech 9. The French side still desperate to try and find a plant. Has to deal with Oscu, who's made his way inside of the site, drops down, and he gets 2 kills.
Yeah. French team getting kind of desperate in that kind of situation. Definitely wants the bomb down. Still have plenty of time to work with though, so not really sure why they had such a rush getting towards main. In the end though, Oscar's going to take full advantage of the mistakes made and make it 9-12. We're going to see an eco coming out from the French. So Slowy though. Sticking to that auto shotty, building up a bit of a bank. Already, we're seeing some action. Oh, nice shot from Meta down on ramp to take out Jetsku, but Eyeless doing a solid job to bring his team back into it. 3v2 advantage for the CTs. Meta and Petit not really in any sort of position to actually pose a threat to the T's, but Eyeless going aggressive here.
Eyeless is, and Eyeless will not actually be the one to get the kill. It's Askew.
Meta's made it into the upper bomb site, but it doesn't have a bomb, so doesn't really do him a whole lot. I guess the one benefit is that the CTs have absolutely no idea where he is. So he might be able to find a frag here. Winning the round is a whole different ordeal.
And to note, for those of you who dare care to care, Navi will play the new God-sent lineup this evening, and Fnatic will play most sports as well for the IEM Katowice qualifiers. That'll be the first time we see the new lineups, as Slow will close out the round with the Alligator, as Chad affectionately calls that shotgun. Do you know why he calls it that?
No idea.
Look at the HUD. It looks like an alligator.
Ah, gotcha.
It's got big long teeth, the eye.
A bit of a snout at the front there.
Yeah, where the nostrils are. Yeah, it's quite cool. It's quite clever.
There you have it.
Crocodile Dundee.
Chad would be proud of that accent.
Well done, mate. That's, you don't even know, bloody bloke. You gonna watch the Beathis tonight? Bathurst 12-hour tonight, if anyone's wondering, as Eyeless looks to try and flash himself into contention, but they're forward of where that flash will deploy. They will not get a full blind duration. The wall of smokes. This is the execution we wanted to see from the French side. It's shown better from Rynnäkköviikset as they try and get down in towards Secret. That's where Slow awaits, and he's looking for the pixel gap so that he can drop the smoke, deploy, fall back, and lock them into a tight position to get rotations and timing incorrectly.
They're actually going to fall back off, even though they get that opening frag, not going to commit to Secret right away. Lambert just kind of going up and, well, back and forth in those stairs. Slowly's waiting for them. Well, he's got a tiny angle to see if anybody crosses through. He's going to drop a smoke if they do. It's not going to be the case, though. So Lambert takes a bit more tag damage. The rest of the team slowly gathering towards heaven here. You can see Petite Scale trying to work his way up here. Wants to jump in towards heaven. I think a lot of the movements from Dizlown is going to come down to what Petite is able to find here.
Eyeless looking for an opening. He's trying to fire in toward Hut, realizes that someone slipped up behind him. His team's taking care of that for him, so bomb drop down inside of Hut. Eyeless and Slow looking to bring this to a 1-point game for the Finnish side. And let's not forget, as they do exactly that, this was picked. And I'm just trying to see okay, so the Finn side did pick this map, so they should be able to close this back. Dizlown did very well on their CT side then, all things considered.
Yeah. We did talk about it. With mixed teams, it's very often the CT sides are the heavy favorites, unlike what we're seeing at the top tier level. In any case, the job still has to be done. Slowly puts down a Molotov towards Squeaky to prevent any sort of early rushes, but the French are all coming towards that outer area. Tech 9's in hand. Not really too much armor to speak of either. Light Kevlar on 2 people, and they're going to do the same march down into Secret as they've done 2 times before. Slowy's in position already, though. Same angle as last time. He's going to spot one, drop the smoke. Now he's going to feast.
A round picked up again by the Finnish side, and they'll go 12-12 with an incredible performance individually. Everyone's looking quite sharp. No one again sticking out individually on either. I guess you could give Petite Skill a little bit of credit at 24. He's a bit ahead of the rest of his team, but 21 the highest frag on the Finnish side.
Yeah. And tactical timeout being called by the French team. They have been struggling here on the T sides, only picking up 1 round, I guess. To maybe lighten their worries. Did take a while before the Finnish side started picking up T rounds as well. And well, already ready to unpause. So that was a pretty quick pep talk they had amongst themselves. Seem to have a good plan of what they want to do. They have pretty much as full of a buy as you can get. What they actually do, there's just difference in what kind of preference they have in nades. 4 Molotovs picked up, Lambert being the only one who's opting for an HE instead. Well, this is going to be a big round for the French.
Yeah, it's a massive round for the French. This is getting desperate now as they led 11-4. And similar to what we saw from LGR in the previous quarterfinal that we casted, they're unlikely to pull this off. The shotgun again is going to be on top of Hot. Eyeless will take down Pullix. It's Eyeless to follow up and take down XPG, but here we go, Slowy. He's got one already on the shotgun. The Alligator chomping down upon its merciless victims as they try and walk in through the hot. Now they're in front. This time he's going to get down as Petit Skill jumps through the window, but he's team killed. A shot into Hut. He's going to take down Lambert as it says. Take that back. It's actually gone into A main, but it's Petit Skill now planting bomb in behind Silo at bottom. That gives him a chance to control peek left and right. He's going to fake out with the door open toward decontamination. That's where he's gone and try and burrow his way back in, but from the side, Skew has made it in, and guess what? We now have a lead to change after an 11-4 half. It is now 12-13.
As bomb plant goes down, though, max loss bonus is in full effect for Dizlown as well, so they will have the money to buy up, but they're not getting a whole lot done on their T side so far. It's unfortunate for Petit after managing to take down Slowy by Vents there in a fairly unfavorable situation, jumping through the window, takes down his teammate as well on low HP in main. And that kind of swings the tide of things. For now, though. Either move out into yard. Lambert by T-Red, scouring, see if he can find any sort of CT head sticking out. Not going to be the case, though. Does have two teammates with him as they smoke off main. Looks like they want to go towards garage in this kind of scenario. XPG drops down from main as well. Osku hasn't yet to spot anyone outside. It's actually just going to fall all the way back in towards inner as Meta picks up one frag.
XPG's desperate to try and find a shot up toward heaven at outer. He's not going to get much presented to him as they'll swap around to the blue crate CT side. And Slow's waiting as well inside of secret entrance. It's a well-timed peek, but it's a shotgun. So rather than wait it out with chance they'll approach, he tries to get the information early and too far away to be effective. It's allowed XPG to go further out towards CT spawn, excuse me, and still have vision on toward heaven on the AK-47. Now that's also going to open up a lot of map control for the terrorist side. He's got to be very weary of the fact that Jet Skew is rotating in from Turnpike. That catches him off as he looks up to the top of heaven. That gives Jasmine confidence to look out toward the main entrance, and down everyone goes on the entry, including the bomb. It's only on a Meta and a 1 versus 2 to grab that with 28 seconds and try and make play the best he can as they wrap around through radio and control. He's going to stay upper. Door blown out as well. If he goes vents now, it's too late. He's got to consider his positioning. Still thinks they're going to be heaven. Both are on the backside of him, and he plants with the side showing, but they're not going to approach just yet. Now they will gun draw just in time, but he's low on 2, and they walk through. It's going to be a defuse in 14th round for the finish approach on their first map.
Yeah, nothing really working out for Dizlown now, but again, they do get a bomb plant, so another buy is coming in, and it makes sense as well. They don't want to let Rynnäkköviikset onto match point.
So now we go. Shotgun again for Slowy.
It's been the bank of salt mustaches, much like JW Smag 7 was for Fnatic back in the day. And Osku, out of the blue, finds 3 frags almost
That's
immediately
sick.
out in yard.
That's sick. That's a massive shutdown.
Yeah.
Because money for Dizlown is going to be tough.
And getting a bomb plant in this kind of a situation, almost impossible, and they'll make that actually impossible. Pollux in a 1v4. Gonna fight Slowy, but does take tag damage as well, down to 10 HP, so how is he gonna make it out of this kind of a situation?
Sick shot.
Definitely
But
was.
you're right. He's on a fraction of health. He has 10%. You don't actually have 100 health. It's representing percentage. You actually, in CS, believe it or not, have 587.4 health. They just give you a 100% graph so that it makes more sense.
There we have it.
That's how
CS
it
facts
breaks
by
down.
Matt.
Yeah. Damage is also accumulated that way as well. They thought about putting it in hit points, but it just didn't make sense for the physics. You know, it's all about the physics. As we go to map point for the Finnish side, 15-12 for Rynnäkköviikset.
Getting better at it.
Rynnäkköviikset.
Well, map point, they've managed to surmount, or, well, yeah, they've managed to actually pull this comeback back, to put it really awkwardly. But there we have it. Not the greatest of buys from the Frenchies, and they haven't gotten a lot of stuff working for them so far, and Oscar's just going to make matters worse. XPG trying to drop down into vents, not going to be allowed. So Oscar's being the Finnish Gandalf in that situation.
Well, it's going to be eyeless. The op does 437% damage with a headshot, not direct HP. I'm just clearing that up for you. As it is going to be Rynnäkköviikset looking to try and close out this game, as they've already got one down in the form of XPG. A single round accumulated by Dizlown on their T side of Nuke, perhaps showing why it's not their map choice, but maybe ban it if you don't have a clue what to do, because they seem lost in many effects of the way to try and get into bomb sites. This time they'll open up ramp room ever so slightly, but it's 4 HP left for Metayo. And Lampert with 100 has just the Galil to work with. Tech9, he's upgraded to an AK as I say that, but Tech9 from Meta is going to find one. It's 1-on-3 with 4 HP, and it's not to be. He'll go down 16-12, a big comeback for the Finnish side. They take map 1 in our first semi-final.
Not a bad comeback from the Finnish side. Slowly with that auto shotgun just creating havoc all over the place. But yeah, picking up their map pick, good way to start a semifinals.
Not too shabby. Definitely a loss of effect on their T side. Both T sides look fairly lost. We saw, actually, impressively, we saw better smokes from Dizlown to try and get into secret. They just never utilized the secret position. The 1 or 2 times they did go down there, they got cut off by either a pixel gap smoke or just a straight up brawl where they didn't lose it. So I actually thought once the Finnish side got control of the lower stairwells and got into the lower bomb site, things did look better for them, and hence why they always wanted to go that direction.
Yep. I think this is an accurate assessment of how the game played out. But we're going to go for a little commercial break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with map number 2.
Suspect is armed and dangerous. What is your location? 10-11. I got an emergency. The suspect...
feel like I'm losing time, but I don't know how. I'm here. I could feel somewhere you're looking now. I could feel your heart beat.
Map 2, semifinal number 1. Finland versus the world. The world being France. And France is losing because they got ants in their underpants and could only get one round on the T side of Nuke. What a fluke.
All true. All true. Going into the French map pick, though, Cash, what are your expectations?
Yeah, you know, my expectations,
Big?
they run high with the Finnish side because I think this Finnish side has a chance to do what the other did not. LGR fell flat. It was similar to what we just mentioned on Nuke.
Yeah.
The French side, they were unable to really get much going on their T side. They had an 11-4 lead and ended up losing that match. So I think it's a 2 series. I think this goes 2-0 for Rynnäkköviikset.
Rynnäkköviikset, yes.
Something like that.
Easily our favorite team so far. Mainly down to name.
Oh yeah, I like the pronunciation of it. It comes off the tongue so naturally.
Yeah, it rolls right off. And, well, it's going to be interesting to see what the French have done. It's been their go-to pick for the tournament so far. They haven't dropped the map on it yet, so far so good. But we've yet to see what these Finns have in store for us as we go through the map. Slowly diving through the mid into A main. What's your favorite part of Cash?
Favorite part of Cash is the free candy van in spawn.
Free candy van in spawn?
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah, in CT spawn, if our spectator would be so kind as to oblige. Not that truck. Although, actually, you want to know my favorite part of truck?
Okay.
Is there's supposed to be 4 lights on top of, hey, Finnish people! Oh.
No, Canadian.
There's 4 lights on the truck. The third light, if you're looking at it, you read from right to left, you're looking in front of it. The third light, not this one, but this one is missing. And if you take a helmet with the CT and look down, it looks like you're a light.
There we have it.
So they can walk around the corner and your head appears camouflaged as the 4th light on the truck. So very cool. And yeah, free candy van's still my favorite part.
Yeah. What kind of engine is outside of the candy van?
That is a V8.
V8.
Yeah, well, there's 4 cylinders facing us, and there's 4 on the other side. A V8
candy van.
Chevrolet LS2. It's a Corvette engine that they're modifying into that van.
It's going to be a fast van. Well, on we go to the pistol round. Rynnäkköviikset are going to start on the CT side. Dizlown on the T. This is the Frenchies map, so that means that the Finns had the option to start on the CT side, chose to do so. And already we're seeing Dizlown with XPG boosted up into mid, just holding it off, seeing if it can find anyone pushing aggressively. The rest of the team, though, sitting up towards B, and they're going to find Slowly peeking out. That's a nice Deagle headshot from Meta. Already man advantage. No real rotation coming in from the CT side yet.
Oh, that left-handed Deagle looking for money shots. Can't find them, though, as Eyeless plays in behind the box of checkers.
Yeah. Meta actually takes quite a bit of damage as well, down to 11. So, yeah, they do have a man advantage, but they are tagged up, and already Oscu finding people to shoot at in A main. The French guys are just kind of running back and forth here at this point. Still have utility on Petite Scale, smoking a flash. It'll be interesting to see where they actually go to use that. They have gained ground in mid, though. So going back to B feels like the safer option for them. And smoke probably going to go down to cover off lower. And execution is right around the corner.
Shot from Jasmine to start it, and they'll push in behind to spot Eyeless. One player obliged to take the duel is tagged up heavily, and they put 2 finally around the corner. Pistol round success in the fact that Pullocks will take Eyeless, but that buys time for Jaskew to get back inside of the site, and he takes down XPG, who brings us back to 3 versus 3. As Jasmine will wait outside of the smoke, they'll not look to go for the toke because they've got to walk back inside of the site, which is now fortified with the bomb plant down. It's going to be Dizlown. Hilux rotating back around to try and spot reverse side of the B. Tunnels, nice shot inside of the smoke. Lambert's got 1. Lambert's got 2 as he fires in and gets the second. His petite skill to get Jasmine immediately before it, and it's a nice win for the French side.
Going 180 miles an hour.
It's true. Let's just take a moment to catch our breath.
Just watching Twitch chat call you American.
I'm ignoring Twitch chat. We're not on equal terms right now.
Off to a bad start.
Someone even called Halifax USA, and that's the end of it.
Wow. And next time, Nova Scotia's going to be Scotland altogether.
Well, it's New Scotland, so that's
Yeah.
fine. I can live with that. I'd still rather Scotland than America.
All right. There it is. Well, Dizlown's off to a good start here. 3 MPs and an MP7 on Lambert. And 1 AK on XPG as they go up against the 4 spy of Rynnäkköviikset.
Rynnäkköviikset is going to lose Slowy as well, who in the last game was an instrumental part of their success in the comeback on the second half. But the skill with the UMP is going to fall away. Nice shot from Jesmin, but doesn't connect. I say nice shot because his form and finesse was just brilliant.
You know, it's all about form. Well, slowly making their way towards that.
Someone's trying to
site.
troll by saying Halifax, Missouri, USA. There's actually a Halifax in North Carolina if you wanted to use that joke. Good shot.
Yeah,
Just cute.
No jokes coming out from him. He might actually find a second one, but Pollux jumping around on the bomb site, finds 2 frags immediately, and that leaves Eyeless on his own. No friends around. And the ZZ with a couple of bullets.
Ooh.
Does find XPG, though. A bit of a tail end of his clip right there. Right now, looking to do as much economic damage as possible. Does tag up the Pollux quite heavily as well, down to 26 HP, but gets flashed and has no opportunity to actually close it out. So 4 kills for Pollux that round. 2 very instrumental ones on the bomb site. I see in replay. Isla's literally blind, which is quite the feat. In any case, though, Frenchies go up 2-0 and looking at a 3-0 lead here after picking up the pistol and the first anti-eco.
Well, with that said, Pollux is going to try and put himself in position with the UMP out toward the sunroom, toxic room, skylight, window room, mural room, white room, Molotov throwing toward checker room. That's what I call it, all of those things all at once. Wants the feet on heaven. He's going to realize now this is a stack as they push around. Thinked up, got to back away. Goes for the pistol for the running mechanics. And down he goes. UMP grabbed in the possession of the CTs.
Yeah, only issue is that the bomb is already about to get planted on that bomb site. Here we go. 4 players in place for the T's. Jetski is actually going to find a shot onto Lambert as well, so that might actually create an incentive for them to go for this.
Oui, parler en français. Tu parles en français, Skadud? Non.
Un petit peu.
Je ne comprends pas, hein? Tu comprends pas, oui? Tabarnak. Zmeta will take down Jiskew.
Slowly
He's gonna
seems,
leave, yeah, Slowy.
he seems happy enough to save that UMP and hold on to it for now. Hoping that the T is going to run by him or anywhere near. He might actually get his wish fulfilled here. Might be more than what he bargained for, though. It definitely is. 3 T's looking out through a box that's spammable. Not the greatest of situations to find yourself in, and 3-0 is going to be the score. But now, it's time for the buy round. And no op in sight on the CT side. Don't have the economy to do so, and actually limited on utility as well. It's going to be interesting to see what they are able to do. We saw a very lackluster CT side from LGR, the other Finnish team we've had on stream today. So hoping to see some improvement from Team Finland.
Team Finland, they're the national team now?
Yeah, well, they're the only representatives. They've taken that ground, even if they want it or not.
Well, they've stepped up to take over what Ents has left behind. iGame had the opportunity of doing so, rated number 25 in the world, and were unsuccessful in this affair. As the flash goes into A main, they dodge that accordingly. It's going to be CT's ready with M4. Spray down, trade back to Skew. Gets one as Osku starts it off. Slowy. He'll throw back on Pollux. So now we've got a chance for the Finns to get their first round on the board. AWP and an AK still in hand. Watch behind the quad position because there's a line of sight down toward the highway. They're going to climb on top of Cat instead. As Jetski looks either side for an opening and an opportunity. It's Lambert that's desperate to use that AWP to full effect as the Molotov will go in behind the forklift, flush them back in. That funnels them into Pitsky's skill, but he goes down. Bomb's not yet planted as they try to get kills before committing to the plant with a minute still to work with. The off spot's one jumping above, but he's scared of being peeked as he goes for the initial exchange and therefore falls back rather than takes the shot. Smoke deployed above. I'm not really sure the plan in doing so. And he now leaves himself vulnerable, surely. Okay, it did bounce correctly. I wasn't sure that it would. That's actually kind of clever from Lambert because he isolates one player and leaves him in a position where he can pull this back. He might pull it off with a nice smoke, just misses a shot. Just Skew's gonna pull it around.
I agree.
Clever smoke, actually.
That's very clever. Oh, it's kind of. It doesn't seem like he actually planned for it to land there, though. Seeing how he did take the white peak out into the smoke.
Oh yeah, is there 2 smokes there? Maybe his was the bad one.
I think his was the correct one.
Okay, fair enough.
In any case, though, it doesn't really lead to a round win. Unfortunately, Lambert picking up, what was it, 3 frags?
Yeah.
To end it, but couldn't get the 4th. Slowy.
Slowy looking quick.
That's Lambert gone already. Man, who nearly clutched out the round. Oh, Meta. Woof. Going off the bullet spam from Jetskew, seeing if he can catch him off by reloading. Almost does so as well, but luckily for Jetskew, he has teammates paying attention in Osku. It's a 2-man advantage now. Well, bomb's not picked up yet. Oh, XPG is just going to run through the smoke here.
Correct. Get absolutely wrecked.
Yeah, the French
Get taken down.
French butts are tingling right now. They want to get on the move.
Because you say their sphincters are tight enough to crush coal into a diamond?
Probably. There's no coal.
But my God, I'm a diamond.
That you are.
Lucy's in the sky. Marina's nearby. Smoke dissipates toward the top of highway. Evox has a visional position, but his skill. He's got mad skill. I don't know why he says he's got small skill. He's got big skill because he hits the shot. As Jesmond has to rotate back around with the UAP. He manages to do so. Missed shot with the AWP. And congratulations, Finland. You have your 2nd round.
All right, right back into it. That's going to be Nico for Dizlown with not getting the bomb plant down. And a chance for the Finns to make it 3-3. Started off the first map on Nuke. T-side not going too well for them. Managed to grab 4 rounds in total, though. And then mounting a significant comeback on the CT side. And now if they can get off to a better start here, things are looking good for them. Playing with a solo man in mid, so leaving a lot of responsibility up to Jesmond here. But for right now, the eco push, or I guess I should say the force spy, is coming in towards that B area with Slowy and Eyeless covering, and Eyeless has a FAMAS. He's going to get into a close position here. Might work out really nicely for him. It does get flashed, though, and is going to get immediately taken down. Nice no scope from Slowy, though. Jesmond comes in to help as well. Slowy doing a lot of damage from a really awkward position. All of a sudden, it's just Lambert to try clutch out the round. 1v3, bombs dropped on site. This is going to be almost impossible, especially as Jetskew comes running in from the back, but he's not going to be able to participate in that kind of feast. Jesmond nabs it right in front of him, and Slowy that round, finding 2 frags he never should have had any business finding.
Lambert with the shot. And ask you, as I chuckle to myself, and the fact that it's 3-3, that's purgatory.
Really is. Back at square one. Well, I guess if you are the Finns, you do have the money advantage going in right now. Eco time for Dizlown. No armor this time around. Slowy's going to take advantage of that. 3 frags for him right off the bat. Does get taken out by Petit Skell, but it's quickly responded. Op is picked up. No harm done. And the Finns are smiling.
Shots coming through, flashes out. It's a fast effect as the weapons prevail. The skill does get Slowy, but Eyeless is there to compensate immediately for the difference. And it puts us now at 4-3 for the Finnish side. Guns drawn again on Dizlown. What about Liz Down? I used to know a girl named Liz. She doesn't talk to me anymore.
Why is that?
Because no girls talk to me after about 3 months. XPG's going to wait to see if they push into A main. They've gone for the boost instead. It's Osku that's above, with Slowy down below on an AWP playing the tight position. The one cool thing about him playing in that lower box position is if they go into A main and there's a slight exchange, even him shooting and then running away, which doesn't happen. He's going to move sooner than that because he wants to stay dynamic with the AWP. Actually, I take that back. He just wants to throw a support flash out to mid. He can bait them in, and as soon as they see him and don't see anything else, they're going to follow him to the site and assume that means it's not boosted. But they give up on all this because as time goes on, they're anticipating a change in play and perhaps over B. But there's still a minute. It's an early call to abandon this and watch behind because Squeaky's occupied.
It is, but instead it's going to be Jesmond to find the first frag over on Pollux towards B. So the Frenchie's sole warrior towards that B bomb set is taken down immediately, and that could allow for early rotations for the CTs here. They're actually going to find Meta as well in Squeaky, so that op does come into play. Not an A-main though. An A-main, that's a whole different story. Oscar gets taken down. Same thing with Jessica in mid.
Slowly with the shot on skill is going to be successful. Wrap back around and watch above though, because XPG tries to climb the mountain tree. Unfortunately, gets caught out and it's not to be, as he will fall and they remain on 3. It's 5 for Rynnäkköviikset. I'm getting good at that.
It's improving gradually, for sure. I think we still need to finish judge.
A Finnish judge.
Yeah, finish judge to make the verdict.
The Finnish judges are too busy getting drunk with Kimi Räikkönen.
That's true.
Celebrating the fact that Valtteri Bottas is now the best Finnish driver in Formula 1.
Well, if you didn't know, now you know.
And if you don't know, now you know, Wigga. Ah, switches to a W. That's fair play. It's fair play. Get away with that one. Fire me now. I dare you, Gabe. Pistols only for Dizlown. They're going to start to rotate back as well up toward an accumulation on the A site. I love how our minimap constantly has the wrong colors because the player respecting Jasmine is a CT, but it shows him as a T.
Attack comes in from Highway. Jasmine finds one. So alleviates some pressure. Isla's going to find Lambert as well, but push is still incoming from Petite Scale. But in the meantime, the teammates are flying down left and right. Police is going to get taken down after finding Slowy as well, and they're going to be able to pick up the op. So Finns are doing well for themselves right now. Rough start losing the pistol, but 6 rounds in a row, and not showing any signs of slowing up, but or slowing down. But now we're going to see full buy coming in from the French. Op in hands on Lambert. Last time he tried his way toward, or tried his luck towards B, he got taken out by Slowy immediately. So we'll see how this all plays out. We're going to have a run boost here, actually, from the CTs. Slowly peeks into A main. Run boost actually fails as well for the CT, so they disband the entire idea of having anyone boosted up on top of boxes. This medic creeps closer to the squeaky doors. Slowy's actually going to play very aggressively with the op here. Oh no, they're going back to the boost. All right. Sound cues from Slowy backing away might have given the French some indication of what just happened, but still they decide to focus on Oscar. Oscar actually going to drop in off the flash of Slowy. Not going to get anything in return for it though. 2-man advantage for the French as they get ready to pounce on that A-bomb site.
Try to do so as the doors open. The nade goes back in toward Quad as well, but they don't take advantage of it as he tries to dodge out a flash. Nade came through and there was a gap in the smoke, so the AWP for Slowy was able to hit the shot as they tried to accumulate position and territory on this site. It's Pullix that's going to rotate back over toward B. Not with bomb, but with an arsenal of nades that will hold off CTs as he looks to clear this site. Confident without checking left side. Nearly sprays through as well as he puts Eyeless down to a mere fraction of 40 HP. Bomb thrown, no chances.
Oh,
but that is why, because Eyeless hits Petite Skill. And if he'd not thrown that, it could have been bomb dropped in a very vulnerable position. As flashes will be popped and nades will be dropped. But inside of the site, there will be opt. If they dare to try walk through the smoke, it's all for the cloak of Lambert because he's got a side angle headshot in effect. They would never have expected him to be there. And he's got another line up in the edge of the smoke. The cloak works. It's going to be slowed down. As all of a sudden, just like that, the French will pick up their 4th round.
Off the back of Lambert again. With some having the first couple of rounds, buy rounds on Nuke, having a big impact on the CT side with that off, being aggressive with it. And this time taking a bit of a weird angle off the smoke that's thrown in. Works to perfection, finds 3 kills with it. 6-4. Still buy coming in from the Finns. Slowly with his op once again. Utility not so much to speak of, but they've shown that they didn't really need it in the first buy round. Similar scenario, just no op. French passive setup initially, but slowly he's going to find the opening kill onto Lambert, so that's the off gone for the time being. XPG is going to pick that up, but already pretty big win in the Finns book. Slowly getting boosted up on side as well. He's going to be a nuisance to deal with.
Well, Pullix The smoke off in front of the site. Bounce Molotov over toward checkers as well. XPG starts to work around at mid. They've given this up again. We've not seen a typical mid battle that we often do see on Cash. It's sort of a tier 1 level, if you will, and that means that things will transpire on the bomb sites themselves rather than for occupation of land control. The real estate battle, the investment battle. That's how Donald Trump made his fortune, and unfortunately for Dizlown, that's how they're suffering the fate. But this time they wrap around inside of the site. It's going to be a nice response with its skill. As Meta sits down in there with him, it's 2 versus 2. Bomb's been planted in default. Slowy desperate to try and hit that shot. Cannot do so because it's not penetrable. Unlike your mom. As Slowy rotates around with an AWP and gets behind his smoke. Meta, he'll climb underneath of heaven. Both players have made it off of the site, off of the platform, and they'll await the entry of the CT side, who pick up a kit. Oscu's got that inside of the smoke. That might be encouraging enough on its own to try and go. I'm gonna go glass. I should say glass kit. We're gonna go completely dry because there's no utility, and it works out well for the French side as a result.
There we have it, 6-5. Finns being brought back to an eco, and all of a sudden it's starting to look a lot better for our French comrades. Well, Lambert's going to get his hands on an op once again, being dropped off by one of his teammates, and he's been able to have impact with it, so not a bad choice at all. And the Finns, with an aggressive stack towards A main, flashes themselves in. XPG avoids the flash, manages to find 1 and 2 before Jetsku comes to the rescue of the Finns. At least for the time being, the Petite Scale is there to close things out, clean up the mess. It's 6-6. So a bit of back and forth. Dizlown starts the game off 0-3, or 3-0. And Rynnäkköviikset brings it back to 6-3. And now another run has been started by the French.
Well, it's Pullux that's going to wait with Molotov in play to try and secure a position after the AWP of Lambert.
Slowly
find a shot.
Slowly getting boosted up here. Not actually going to move out behind it. It's probably a wise choice because there is one member on the French side just holding that boost. That's XPG. If he hears any sort of sound cue, he can be really quick to rotate around here, catch people off guard. It seems like the French want to move towards a B bomb site. Well, not quite yet, and as I say that, Slowly finds XPG. Caught unawares. Pollux as well goes down, so 5v3 situation for the French to combat back from. They're going to try to boost up here, Meta wanting to find at least one return frag before they try to go towards the site. Spots at 1. Jessica's going to get the better of him, though. So now it's quickly falling apart. Slowly finds the second frag of the round as he pushes aggressively into Garage. That leaves Petite Scale. Does have the bomb, but he has 5 CTs to fight through as well. A bomb site is nearly vacant. Oh, as I say that, the one defender goes down. Oscu, last Guardian, but Slowly's there to rotate. Slowly having a big impact that round. 3 frags right off the bat.
Well, it's Slowly that closes out yet another round as we go to 7-6 first half of Cash. It's a close map traditionally, so that's unsurprising in many ways. As an AK bought up in round 14, complemented by that of all of the pistols. Slowly with the Molotov is going to throw that through the smoke to try and slow down the approach of what is every single terrorist player. All eggs in one basket. Forget defaults, forget information seeking at middle and trying to fake it A. They just want to go into B. As ASUS will wait, flash in front, or excuse me, Molotov in front, smoke off to extinguish that. And tries to allow them to wrap in, but he's let them go too far. He wants to catch them off, and when he thinks he has, on the doorstep, it's Meta and XPG who will take down Jesmond inside of heaven. He's got an AWP still in hand, as it's 4-2 and 2 to save. It's going to go 7-7 as the French side continuing to hold on.
Yeah. Isla's getting a bit too passive there, and Checker's room, leaving Slowly Alto's lonesome. As the push comes in from the French, he's definitely not the way to go about it, and then tries to salvage it by pushing through the smoke. Doesn't get anything in return. Probably would have been better off just hiding behind the boxes and Checkers there until the smoke dissipates. But nonetheless, end result is still around for the French. 2 weapons will be saved though, because the economy of Dizlown doesn't really allow for them to hunt too aggressively. You have 1 person moving towards the squeaky room, which is Lambert, but odds of him finding anything here is very unlikely. 7-7 going into the last round of the first half. There's some money on Jet Ski here, so he could potentially drop a FAMAS. Looks like, or UMP, I guess, because that is the smarter choice. Slow is going to be the beneficiary of that. And, well, decent enough buy for the Finns going into the last round. French, though, no complaints there. Full-out utility, full nades, and guns on their side, and also an up in the hands of Lambert. He's going to get boosted up into mid. Meta. Trying to find some damage through the door there. Doesn't really connect too much. Oscar goes down to 66 HP. More damage has been done to the French side. Lambert on 37.
AWP in hands of Lambert as well. Do you think it's Adam Lambert, that singer guy from American Idol?
Oh, that's right.
I think it's Adam Lambert. I think this is a new career. Simon Cowell said, you know what?
You're not cutting it as a singer.
Not for you. But I think if you pick up an off in middle of cash, you might be able to win the half 8-7.
You might
and he said, you know what, Simon? You made me, and I love you, so I'm going to go for it.
Do you think anyone's ever said that to Simon Cowell?
Someone must have at some point in time. He's got a nice bank account.
That's very true. Well, on the subject of bank accounts, the fully bought up.
Oh, there it is. Lambert's got it. Simon was right. As much as we all hate to admit it as he flashes back through, this is going to be a re-entrance from Diskew. It's on to Oskew.
He smoked off as well. Just kind of wait for that smoke to go away. No more nades really to speak up on the French side, and they haven't gotten the bomb down yet. There it goes. That allows XPG to be in a vulnerable position, but Petit is there to get the refrag as Oscar moves into headshot position. Well, 8-7 half. Looks so nice for Rynnäkköviikset as they moved up to 6-3, getting 6 rounds in a row, but the French fight back with 5 out of the last 6 rounds of the first half.
And not too shabby, you have to say, because it looked like they were in a world of trouble on this, the second map. Remember, we've already gone through Nuke, and that did go the way of the Finns. So the French fighting back on their map choice. It shows encouraging signs for us to look to yet another third map. And that map, of course, is the map that no longer exists in the map pool. Yep. Dust 2.
Got a beautiful singing voice, Matt.
Thank you.
Well, countdown is over. Second half is underway, and we're going to see a lot of utility. Well, I say a lot of utility, quite a bit of utility on the T side here. Molotov and 2 smokes picked up. One of them already goes out to block off the entrance to B here. Wouldn't be too surprised if we saw Molly. Yep, there we go. 4 checkers. So this is pretty clear indication that the Finns want to go towards that B bomb site. Flashes through the smoke as well. It's going to catch Petit Scale halfway out. It's going to have to make him reposition, and oh, Slowy kind of bungles that jump and allows for Meta to get the kill on him. Still though, bomb site is lost, but here comes the retake. Smoke goes in to cover them from lower.
Works out to start off well, Meta. And XPG stepping up as the French side continue to put in an effort to close this. In the second half, the momentum that shifted in the first carried over. Take full advantage as Meta's going to find a kill as well, and Eyeless downed means, unfortunately, the round's over. And it goes to 9-7, a convincing scoreline, I have to say, to start this off, because with that, they can transfer into 3 straight rounds and make this 11-7 and ride it out on the CT side.
No, so that's both pistols picked up for the French team. Well, 2 EMPs from Hamas and 2 Colts picked up. Decent amount of smoke grenades and no investment whatsoever on the T side. Well, 1 flash and a P2 or 2 P250s. That's about it. And they're just going to hope and pray that this flash is going to work wonders in A main. It's actually going to catch out XPG, but he runs into A main. So he's going to avoid all of the damage initially. He's actually going to find a frag on the back end of that, but Meta doing most of the heavy lifting that round, picking up 3 frags. XPG just barely surviving there, slithering through the smoke as the execute comes out.
Yeah, it's not too shabby again, as it's a pretty straightforward round. It's all things considered. Now they're going to stay in the bonus situation here, and to explain that to a few of the viewers, I'm sure there's lots of regulars here, but you essentially keep the guns you had, and it's not full SMGs in this. There's only one. It's the UMP, which is effectively a small rifle anyway. But you don't reinvest. You lose the round, great. You've got money left over to buy into the next one. You win it, great. You pad your bank account without the investment. So it's AK's up early because of that first bomb plant. And Dizlown's going to try and take advantage of the situation. Pollock's back inside of the vent, waiting to potentially, or perchance, blow that backside of it out and drop away. Should a Molotov be thrown in his direction? They're not going to go with that. They're going to leave him the chance. Flash out. He's got a chance to peek it. They should have Molotoved it off as the convergence of XPG. And Meta will pick up a kill. 2 kills, in fact, all going to the XPG. It looks like Meta was getting the second one, but it was assisted nonetheless. As Eyeless and Oscu look elsewhere, flash out, try to bait them out from inside of the vents. The bait and throw, the catch and release as they pop out from the backside, but Oscu flashed off, can't do anything of this. And Pollux at the same time doesn't fancy his chances for a peek just yet. As Jaskew is waiting as well to try and get a lineup when they retreat back from checkers. Unsuccessful in the transition. It's Eyeless that has to get the kill at XPG, but it still leaves him in a precarious position with 2 versus 4.
Jaskew has an idea of where Pollux might be hiding, but Dizlown is going to also get a spider sense of tingling to push out and help his teammate. So pretty decent round from Dizlown there. Not losing too much, actually. And as you said, it was a bit of a bonus round for them. So the reinvestment that they have to make, not too big. There's 4 members staying alive there. It's pretty big going forward. And another eco coming in from Rynnäkköviikset.
Decent rundown from XPG. Run down over to NBK. Pistols only for the Finns to work with. He's going to throw the pop flash peek as well to try and bait them in toward A main, and they're already inside of the site, but he's a little late throwing it, still manages to turn. There's 2 at quad as well for trade potential, but running out of ammo, he's got to swap it over. Rotation comes in from Truck, and it's a triangulated position to trap them into. Not a bomb plant coming through, which means as we hit the lost round bonus, in fact, maximum effect, they'll be able to buy still, but bomb plants in accumulation mean more buys if more losses continue to ensue. 12-7, that's the round we talked about. The scoreline we thought could easily sway the momentum, and now Dizlown in the great position to try and wrap this up in 4. That is an op out on the CT side.
So pretty default spread coming out from the T side. Eyeless getting shots through the smoke, hoping to connect with someone, pushing aggressively. Not going to be the case though. Boost up into vents. Pollux being the boosty in that situation, so he's going to have eyes on mid as well. And in addition to being a quick rotate over towards B, Jaskew on the opposite side of the map in A halls, seeing if he can find anything through that door. Eyeless and Oscu on a bit of a just walking mission in towards checkers. Not going to pay off at all. The crossfire from the box and checkers and vents proves to be too strong, and down to 3 men they go. Well, if they pounce early, they might have a shot of actually overmanning the 2 defenders on that A bomb site, but they're taking their time here. That's going to allow for a 3rd man to rotate over potentially from Dizlown. Well, Jaskew, that's a great start, but Lambert's there to trade. Still alive on site, actually. Slowly does manage to take down Meta by car, but there we go. Yeah,
close. That's lovely. Absolutely lovely as he takes them down to make it 13-7, 20 rounds done as we move on.
Absolutely brilliant.
Righto, mate.
All right, put another prawn.
You can do both accents.
Put another prawn on the barbie.
That's not Australian.
Oh, it is, because Chad told me that they don't call it shrimps.
They call it prawns. He was lying to you.
They call it prawns, yeah.
No, he's lying to you. They call it shrimp.
God damn it, Chad.
Yeah, Chad, don't listen to Chad ever.
Chad's a dick, and I won't be working with him again.
Yeah, he's brutal.
Chad's a lovely guy. What?
So Adam Lambert with the 3K in the previous round leaves slow only with a UMP, and I think map 3 is inevitable at this point in time. Dust 2 could be a brawl for these 2 teams as well.
Pollux with the first frag onto Jessamine here. Might find a second one. Oh, actually, quick double trade for the Finns here. Going to find a 3rd as well, and that's the B bomb site vacated Gonna get a bomb plant down. If they can get off the side as well, it's gonna be a very good position to be in after plant wise, but Lambert's on higher, lurking. He's looking for one head to pop out. Jetski's gonna find XPG, so that leaves Lambert all by his lonesome. Does spot out one of the remaining Finnish members, but it's not gonna be enough. Look at that, finishing off the round with a cheeky little run boost up on higher, trying to get that off. Not gonna be successful with it, but still a round one is a round one. That is actually the first of the half.
Well, it's the first of the half, but it needs to be the first of many because they're still down by 5 rounds. You can count that on one hand if you're curious to play along at home. It's all your fingers plus your thumb is 5. They need to win. So you can
normally not count your thumb as a finger.
If they win, calm down. You just remove one of those fingers with a knife, preferably. And whatever you have left is how far they're behind. If they lose, you have to start using your other hand.
And that's where things get really complicated.
It's true. You got to keep track of 2 things. You only have one eye. It's really tough to watch that many things at once. Meta. The first shot works it well. The French side getting traded back and forth, though. It's Jasmine and now Eyeless. Speaking of one eye, he's got none. That's going to pull it back, and he's got 2 kills, but Lambert does rotate around to catch him off in the open. It's a 2 versus 1. As Jasmine, he's going to sit with little HP, 9 to work with, and try and work back inside of the site, as his teammate will hold off position inside near the bomb, which is indeed planted. Lambert, off his customary AWP, is going to switch to the M4 instead to try and find an opening as he wraps back, finds first on Jasmine, low HP, and that's the easy shot. Now he's got a job of pushing out the T behind the quad position.
It seems like he thinks someone's hiding in the smoke here. Oh, he's going to get caught off guard. Oh, Slowy, why didn't you just pull the trigger?
Can't necessarily bait him up yet, but slow peaks at the right time, and down goes Lambert. That's removing whichever finger you like. I would keep the middle one last. It's the most communicative, but if you want to get rid of your pinky, take the knife and use that one. So now it's 4 rounds to go.
There we have it. Slowy actually had 2 opportunities there to get a clean shot, but just opted to choose a different angle over and over again. Could have gotten scary. We've seen those kind of plays fall flat before. All default time for the Finns. They know that they're up against an eco. Not going to be moving quickly. Well, I say that, but Oscar and Isle is already up on the boost. Taking out Meta, who's alone in mid. So that's mid control granted for the T's. And they can take all the time in the world they want for this. Meanwhile, while this is happening, you do have XPG pushing aggressively in teammate here, though. So you might be in for an opportunity where you can punish at least one of the 2 players on boost if they don't opt to drop down. Well, for now, no further aggression from them, but it has allowed them to stack up a little bit more towards that B bomb side. You still have one towards CT connector, and that's Lambert, but Petite Skell and Polax holding firm on B, and here we go, XPG pushes out as the rest of the T's pushes into B, and just like that, Petite Skell is down. Polax, sole defender, left with a monumentous task to actually hold this off, and well, somehow it's kind of working because, well, they're getting distracted by XPG coming in from behind. So for now, his fate is not yet sealed, but it's starting to look grim for the French player on the site.
It is as Polax, nice shot, takes off Eyeless's head. But unfortunately for him, the rest are all dead. It's come to a 1 versus 2, but that won't do because inside the site, the fight will rage on, and in a way that now means you've got to remove another finger. So we've taken off the pinky, or it's up to you. You could have taken whatever you like, but for the sake of symmetry, I'd take off the thumb, leaving you looking rather dumb with 3 fingers, but still have the middle. That's the important one.
I feel like that would be a pretty useless hand.
All right, keep your thumb. Look, I had a pet raccoon, and he was very clever because he had an implausible thumb, and he could open doors and stuff. So the raccoon proves to me the thumb's worth it. Take off. Your index finger is good for pointing and for doing other things, and your ring finger is important if you get married. But you won't get married if you don't do the other things. So I say take off the ring finger.
Good point. Because like if you take out the thumb, you're starting to look like the butler from Scary Movie.
That's true.
Take
You're
my
right.
strong hand.
Yeah, that guy.
Lovely guy. Good at stuffing turkey. In any case, though, Lambert's already gone down to Slowy, so once again, Slowy winning that alt battle. Well, with that early pick, no need to really rush it. Slowy's just following that up. Another kill onto Petite Skell, so they removed the entire B bomb side. Obviously, they can't know that just yet. but I feel like they have so much time left to work with here that they're not going to rush into anything at all. They still have a ton of utility that you use to clear things out. XPG once more, though, pushing aggressively into A main. Might be able to catch 1 or 2 here, but Osku seems to know that something's up. Oh, the timing.
Oh, that's brutal. That's unfortunate. He times it right, but gets it wrong. The French side find themselves suffering another fatal blow because Eyeless, the only to go down to the price of 3 on the French team, means that it's a 4 versus 2, bomb planted, and already they're fading away to save their weapons. So, we have to remove another finger. Henry, I almost called you Henry. Vendetta, which finger shall it be?
Well, I feel like the middle finger is going to be instrumental for a long time.
I say we remove all
silent
of JKT84's hand, but let's get... Oh, this is going to be 2 rounds. I think you got to keep, for the sake of the British, your index finger and your middle finger.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to continue to do sign language, right?
That's right. I would keep it to just those 2.
Here we have it.
You've got your thumb. It's looking dumb. You get rid of the thumb. Just peace symbol and giving the finger. That's all you need now.
There we go. Oh, 11-13. Once again, the Finns are starting to mount a bit of a comeback here. Timeout is at hand for the French here. Need to talk things over. They've lost 4 rounds in a row here, so it's understandable that they want to talk things through, and they managed to save a couple of weapons. So probably discussing whether or not it's worth buying up behind this. They do have the money on Meta and Polax were the 2 to save, actually, to draw weapons off and get, well, more or less a full buy in that sense. Obviously going to be light on grenades and whatnot, but at least have a weapon in hand. The problem, obviously, is if they lose that, they're going to be looking at 13-13.
I'm having a good time. You having a good time?
I'm having a good time.
Good. AWP out, though, for the French side is something to write home about because we do know on Cash, you can... If you find... The thing is, Cash is an aggressive map. That's one thing I have to say I've seen a lack of in this tournament for most teams. Is teams aren't flashing themselves into A main. They aren't finding information.
Yeah.
And they're not doing it in a successful way with the goal. Even in the last round, they get toward lockers. That's great. They leave a player there, but they're not looking for information fast enough to make the correct calls on rotation. So they need to make sure they're looking to be assertive. And in doing so with a single AWP and an AK, this AWP needs to find an early pick. It has to find something early, and that means that you go fast toward. But you know what, Spawn? They're gonna give it to Lambert, and did it make it? They're gonna have to shoot it to him.
Arms.
Yeah, they're gonna have to shoot it to him. It's on the floor, not quite far enough. They're gonna drop out at M4 as well. They're called to pause to talk about this, and the reason you give it to Lambert is right now. You guys can't see it. He has the furthest most spawn away, or closest to the inside of the map, closest to mid in the CT spawn. So as soon as he gets that off, he's gonna book it, and I assume to B and go for the drop shot. Because you go down heaven, you land, and you can see in toward the skylight room immediately.
Yeah. I think that's going to have to be the play as well. So they do force up behind the 2 saved weapons, and Lambert, he's going to have to come up big in this round. Here we go. Oh, actually, Lambert's going to move towards A. He's not going to go towards B, but, you know, it works both ways. The best spawn gives you an opportunity to get either into A main or towards that B area. If he had ran towards the B, he might have ran into Slowy, and he hasn't gotten the better of that guy for quite some time. He's not even going to go for this super aggressive peek. I guess at this point he might be expecting someone to be behind the boxes. That's a pretty awkward angle to take as an offer. But the Finns on their end, they're moving towards B. Lambert takes a quick peek into A main to clear that out, but all the action is about to happen towards B here. The French, they do have 2 members on here. Petite Skell playing from high, very susceptible to getting just pop flashed and removed from the game immediately. Already flashed once.
This is such a tough position for him to play.
Yeah, but look at that.
He's got to bait them in. They're going to double up inside of sight without the boost. This will be a bait and switch, but the Molotov doesn't reach. That is luck from Petite Skill. As he in turn looks to Molotov down below. Smoke still out of the main. Connector spots the foot. That's enough to do, as bomb gets dropped. And more importantly, he's going to throw Molotov back in the other direction. That'll isolate one player, Eyeless, inside of Checker. Good shot from the opposite Slowy. It does pull it back to 3 versus 3.
And 2 players still on the bomb site, though. But if they play this correctly, they can boost up the bomb here without getting spotted and potentially rotate over towards A. But it seems like Jetsku's really intend on actually just getting that kill.
That nade does so much damage.
Yeah. The bomb is still stuck in Checkers, though. I'm not sure why Eyeless wouldn't pick up the bomb, at least, during that scenario, because that would create some sort of confusion with the French.
Flash comes back in.
Oh,
Eyeless.
the timing.
Does get into the corner, dodge this out, no bomb plant, 10 seconds, they have to cross now, and there's still one in the sight. Nice response from Eyeless. As he turns both directions, he's able to get the kill, but the bomb has to be planted. There's 3 seconds, he just got on it in time. He'll get it down, and in doing so, it leaves Slow with the AWP in a position where he's still applicable to cut off Lambert when they try to go back toward the site. So keep in mind, Lambert on this AWP. He's going to bail out because he has to bail out. That brings us to within 1. The Finns, it took them a while to get rolling on this T side. In fact, they gave up the opening 5 rounds. It's not uncommon, to be fair. You lose the first gun and then following up, although they did buy early.
Yeah.
They're now going to pick up 5 in a row to bring this back to a very close game.
It's been a game of runs so far. And, you know, to add to the misfortune of the French, they're going to have to eco off of this as well. I don't really see the benefit of forcing behind the saved op on Lambert because they have pretty much no money left. Well, very likely looking at 13-13 unless Lambert can come up big with this op.
So that brings us to within 1. And then if they win this, they'll maximize the lost round bonus, but the French side on CT side will be limited yet again. Only $3,400 can force down to $2,000. Remember, reset's also a factor, so it's an uphill battle despite having the lead on the French side right now. As Lambert spots him, tagged up in turn, has to back away. They leave the door open and just get to safety. Forget trying to stick around for too long.
I'm not sure if I agree with this force buy from the French. Well, Meta's going to start things off, though. Finds 1 frag with the FAMAS. That's a big get. They haven't been finding a lot of opening kills so far. Lost 5 rounds. XPG posted up in quad box there, jumping. Slowly gets into a bit of a different angle. He might be able to catch him out. As of right now, though, pretty passive setup from the T's. XPG actually moving closer to Squeaky here. Actually going to go in.
Slow is waiting as well for this angle toward NBK, but it's going to be up front of quad where Lambert plays. That brings 1 kill back. Another as well as finally they start to get aggressive in calculated fashions. And the French side might be able to finally pick up around 38 seconds, 5 versus 2. As Oscu looks to try and open up the door by literally holding it, by watching the angle to let someone walk back in the site, but there's no need for XPG to do so. He's got a fortified defense in there with him, and he can just sit out in the hallway and play this late. Molotov will isolate, but I think they've got to back off 21 seconds. Get away.
It's time for them to just realize that the round is lost. Definitely going to be able to buy off the back of this. Jetskew might have to go with Tech 9 or something to that effect, but the rest of the guys will be able to have AKs or ops if they so please. Well, there we have it. Time runs out. 14 rounds for the French. Getting closer.
Getting closer indeed. As Meta leads the way on the French side. Remember we mentioned reset potential. Well, that goes both ways now. Whoever loses this round is immediately onto an eco. So if the Finnish side lose this round, it goes 15-12. They're going to have no money to try and play for overtime. If they win this, they have a chance to bring it back to 14-14. So much like I said that Dizlown was in the unformidable and unfavorable position at the last round, I would say that's in the other direction now. The Finns are with their back against the wall.
Definitely so. Slowly putting through bullets towards B, not going to connect with anything at all, though. Going to get his op back from Jesmond. It's going to be interesting to see. Okay, opting to go for mid control once again, and this a couple of times too, with medium success, I'd say so far. They are taking their time with this. Smokes over, flashes out. Jesmond pokes his head out from the smoke after that flash. This is looking more and more like a B split.
Meta's going to try and work back out of mid as well. Get information, but it's skill inside of the site that we have to watch. He's the one that's close up to the smokes as they start to approach onto B. And Jesmond going down to Meta. It's a big loss early. They've got to take advantage of the fact that the defense are still split up without much information, but they've rotated a third player over toward B, playing at Tree. And he's going to try and spot through and get the kills on entry. Nice shot from Slow. Petite skill goes down, and it's just Skew that's going to follow that up with XPG, immediately joining him in the grave, but still inside the side. Pylox, he looks the wrong way. His information based on noise was to his left. There was a player on his right, and Eyeless secures the kill, but watch for Meta. They're still in a 2 versus 2 as bomb gets planted. And he has an AK-47, slowly looking for him, but he's made a little bit of noise, and he gets caught on low HP. Lambert's gonna have to bust out the vent. In doing so, he gets his head torn off immediately, and a reset to the French. It's a 1-round game.
1-round game, and Slowly really coming up big in these rounds. Finding impact frags over and over again with that op. Really getting the better of Lambert, even though they're pretty close in frag total. Womp. As you mentioned, eco time for the Frenchies, and that means that Rynnäkköviikset are literally just going to hang back, not be aggressive whatsoever.
Desperate times call for desperate measures as they try and use the pistols aggressively to catch them off. They don't go for a stack, which you might have expected in this. It might be worth the gamble, risk reward. Backs against the wall for the French too, remember, because the Finns won the opening map of the series. You have to keep that in mind. You know what else you have to keep in mind, Henry?
Do tell.
Coffee.
Coffee.
It's delicious and I want some. It's just Skew's gonna rotate back over toward the B site.
All right. Well, B execute is coming once more from the Finnish side. Petite skill in checkers though. Manages to find one frag, is going to get quickly returned on. Still Pollock's on site here. Hold things down, he's going to get removed immediately. And already it's looking grim for the French. Lambert trying to do some work there. Finds one frag onto Jesmond, but Eyeless is there to return as well. So that tag team buddy crew is working out. Oh, Slowy.
Nice
It's anything
shot.
but slow.
He really, it's an ironic name.
Yeah.
It's not an apt name.
I think it's to throw off opponents.
Eyeless is an apt name. You know, he's been having where is his score total? He's in the mid. He's got 18.
Yeah.
To be fair, the frag distribution is very close again. Oskew on 10 and Slowy on 26. If you're wondering why my mic is continuously changing in variables of volume, well, it's actually fallen out of its holster, and I'm pinning it against my cheek to keep the distance relative to what it should be, using my finger and thumb, which I elected not to cut off when the gap was closed. So you're right, keeping the thumb was the right call, Vendetta.
There we go. Knowing is half the battle, as G.I. Joe says. And smoke wall being put down by the T side. Not actually going to pounce up behind it. Only Jesmond really willing to show himself. 3 players in Squeaky Door, though. They're going to get flashed out by Slowy here. Well, XPG and MBK is going to find one frag to actually make that 3. All of a sudden.
Decent position. That's such a strong position when they walk into the site. Just like that, it goes to a 2 versus 2 with still an op on the T side. They're going to try and get the bomb down. Speaking of the op, it's him to do so. Plants it not for the most wide default position because they're not sure exactly what's going on in truck. Nice shot by Jesmond. Instead, he plants it safe. That's nearly a lineup, but Jesmond gets the trade. That could have been a huge problem, and they'll find themselves map point and series point. If that bullet had transferred through both, it could have been game over at that moment. Oh, that's so close. Look how close together they are.
Maybe gets him through something as well.
It might have been his teammate's body going down.
Very well could have been, but we're sitting at 15-14, so the Finns have done it again. Brought it back from the brink of destruction. The vibe on the French side, not too great. 3 UMPs, 2 5.7s.
Slowy's got 27 kills, the same as Meta. As on the other side, it's Jesmond that's going to boost up, the AWP player of Slowy. This is an I buy power strategy, an old I buy power strategy. Where you used to boost. No, they used to do it all the time. This was like their way of countering off Envy style mid aggression back in, I don't know, whatever year it was before they decided to throw. 2014 was it? Yeah, 2014. They used to boost up on this truck exactly as we're seeing with the AWP and spot for anyone transitioning between Z and white box.
So uncommon that anyone who's rotating back and forth between Z and big box is not going to expect it. That's the big gain of it. So he's going to put down a smoke towards sandbags. Still though, first frag goes the way of XPG. He's actually going to find a second one as well. Has to retreat into, finds a third as he pushes in towards Garage. That's absolutely massive.
This is big for overtime. If Dizlown pull off 2 more kills, they get it to overtime, and they'll do it on another force buy situation, which is what we saw in our first overtime in the quarterfinals this morning with LRG. Jesmond's got his back turned, and they're in behind. It's going to be Blocks that pulls back on Jesmond. It's all down to Slowy in a 1 versus 3, 19 HP to work with on an AWP.
Man of the hour, though, for the Finns. And the B-bomb site is open, to be fair, so all hope is not lost, but he's down at 19 HP. That's just 1 bullet that needs to connect from any of the French players. And I think Slowy's going to have to, well, he doesn't have the time really to try to find a third.
Oh, and the shots come in, doesn't even realize it, but he goes there. It's overtime! Just like that. Apparently we're going to come to us and put us on camera. Get ready for this. You ready?
I'm always ready.
Never mind, they're not. They're not going to do that. They're going to slow the slow-mo instead. I was going to show you how my mic is broken. There, here we go. See, look, it's supposed to be holstered into the side thing, and it's not.
It's not doing it.
Doesn't really work. I was gonna say the good news is I can cough now without deafening everyone, and then I actually coughed. Yeah. It's like it's a custom-made cough box.
It's actually true. I don't have that.
No, you don't.
No, the technology just isn't there.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Technology is a strong suit
for
this situation.
There we go.
Overtime is a problem, though, I think, and I mentioned to someone in chat, aptly said, I mentioned the my power strategy. Well,
yeah.
I didn't know that they were literally going to throw that round against a force buy, because now we find ourselves at 15-15. Remember, MR3, 10K, the first overtime we saw today, also featured a Finnish team. It was LGR, and they forced up overtime with a fast force buy of their own, but it was immediately brought back by getting slaughtered in overtime. They lost all 4 straight rounds.
Yeah, they opted to go for the double up setup on the CT side. That did not pan out whatsoever. Couldn't pretty much find a single frag in that OT as well. So we're going to hope that the Finns here have learned a lesson and not going to go for the double up setup. They haven't really done that all game either, so I'm assuming they're just going to let the op duties go to Slowy for the better part of it. And they will be starting on T side.
This is coffee they delivered to me after I requested it, so I have to drink it.
Is it ever good?
It's freaking hot. God. I'm going to hide that here.
Yeah,
why didn't we think of hiding stuff here earlier? They were yelling at us for having things showing. We could have just put it there.
We could have had so many bananas on that laptop.
Everyone loves a good banana.
Yeah. There we are.
That said, we're just waiting for the players to ready up, and I think they've just about done so. I see some headsets going on, hopefully not backwards this time.
Well,
if you weren't joining us earlier, we had a technical timeout because someone had their headset on backwards.
Jet ski, or jet ski, as we affectionately named him now.
Or should I call him Yuksatuj, which would be backwards like his headset.
Hey. There we go.
I don't get paid. Don't worry. Don't worry, guys. I don't get paid.
Basically, well, you get the plane ticket covered.
It.
That's what you get. You get paid.
Yeah, I usually have
frequent flyer miles.
I usually have to beg for that too. I go see a scalper outside the airport. He says, "Hey, yeah, I got these tickets. Where would you like to go, son?" And I usually say, like, "Yeah, I'll take Bali or Australia. How about a cold place called Finland? That'll do. That'll do. Here I am.
It's good enough."
They're gonna mute me and fix my mic.
Damn. Do you want to talk into my mic?
No, you cast. You're on your own.
Damn. Well, there we go. OT started. Ops galore out. Actually, a bullet as well, or an AUG, as it is also known as. XPG is going to find the first frag onto Jesmond, though, so it starts things off strong for the French. So playing from a man disadvantage here. Still lots of utility, obviously, with it being 10K here. Going to put down 1 smoke for mid. No, changes his mind. And they could still actually decide to go for mid. Maybe they'll just go for the dry peak. You are back. Wow. Well, now you lost the technology to the cough button. Yeah. Now you're really loud. Yeah.
It's fine. I don't need coffee.
Yeah. One. Speaking of dying, that's what Oscar's doing in mid. Gets caught out by XPG. And that's XPG's second frag of the round. So starting off the OT in a great style. The rest of the T's, though, moving towards that A bomb site. Med is going to find 1 with the AUG, but then immediately 2 trades from Eyeless and Slowy.
Well, either way, Slowy's going to try and make this work.
Well, I'm going to put the smoke down in front of it. Oh, so close of actually connecting to the guy on car.
Watch slowly go down though. Bomb drop. They have to try and use Eyeless to get all three. Not going to happen. And the French side who forced overtime with the force buy collect round number 1. Now keep in mind what we said with MR3 and 10K. You know it as well as anyone, Vendetta, in your days of playing matchmaking with a few of your friends, I don't even know if you have any, that you only get $10,000 and you lose 2 in a row. I don't play with you. I don't play CS. You lose 2 in a row. You could be forced to save in the third. So this needs to be a response round immediately from
There we go. Perfect pronunciation as always. But yeah, this does mean that Dizlown, for the better part of it, should be safe for the remainder of the first half in OT. Actually, a bit of a gap there in the smoke as well for Lambert to spot through. Doesn't see the man crossing though as he jumps over. And again, not a default setup from Rynnäkköviikset Finns, if you like, this time around. And on we go, the slaughter that comes down on that A-bomb site. Lambert finds 2, Meta's joined in as well with 1. And now it's down to Slowy and Eyeless once again. Slowy finds 2 frags. Eyeless is going to chip in with his first, now 2v1 situation. Eyeless is going to get the bomb down, and the CTs are a fair distance away, so he could get into this situation we talked about earlier where you could isolate players to make it 2 1v1s.
This is a very big round for Eyeless as he gets in toward quad. They've already expended 2 Molotovs trying to get to that position and not gone onto quad. They use it on the default plant as if he was babysitting the bomb. He's not. And you said isolate into 1v1s. They're going to work this together, and together they shall prevail. It's Skill who will find the kill, and Dizlown will get 2. Now remember, if they win this, we go to just 2.
That's absolutely correct. Well, still 2 more rounds needed for Dizlown. First to 19 is the one who's going to make it through. Well, for the French, it's going to be making it through to a 3rd map. The Finns obviously 1 up after winning their own map pick on Nuke. Still though, money to be spent on the T side. Slowy's going to have to go with the UMP after purchasing that off in the first round. No AK for him, but still plenty of utility. The rest of the team is decked out with AKs.
Lambert looking for a spot with the op. It's the crisscross smoke. One of the better executions we've seen, to be fair. It's been mostly a pick game and a bit sloppy at that. It gives them the vent B access for a split inside of the site. Skill, he's got to sit on top of the site, use a Molotov to try and deny the plant. In behind the box, though, they didn't clear it out with a Molotov of their own. It's Pelux that's going to be able to pop out and take down 2. As Eyeless will fall, and then inside of the smoke, it's all left to Oscu in a 1 versus 3. This could be a 3-round sweep for our 2nd overtime that we've seen.
And again, going against the weight of the Finns. Oscu playing with the smoke here, might be able to catch Meta as he moves on side, but a perfect flashbang allows Meta to re-peek, and that's going to end it. Perfect CT half from the French here to start OT. That's going to make life real hard for the Finns. Well, countdown has already begun. Both teams are ready. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not we're going to see the Finns fight back once again. They were down by a significant margin as well during regulation, managed to bring it back, and then at the brink of victory, throwing it away versus a force buy that wasn't formidable at all. Well, moment of truth is upon us. Slowly, not surprisingly, purchasing that off Lambert as well.
Lambert's on his customary AWP. Wow. Is he going to get boosted? They haven't gone for an op boost often. In fact, no, he's going to go toward A main instead as Meta tries to take out towards Squeaky. Meanwhile, Slowy in the AWP on the CT side, 1 of 2. Goes for a fast drop, and the Finns desperately need this double op setup to work. Do they not, Vendetta?
They do. We talked about it when we saw LGR doing this. Bit of a desperation call. I think it lends itself better on this map, though, as you've alluded to as well. The fact that you can put 1 towards B as a bit of a solo turret, and the other free to roam. And as of right now, it's not what they've opted to do, though. Slowy is holding from checkers towards B. This just kind of hanging out, checking for vents. Just been holding off mid by his lonesome. French, still some utility left, 3 Molotovs. Starting to get low on smokes, though. But they've decided to go towards mid and B here, so the split is going to come in. Jessica's going to find Meta with the help of Eyeless. An already man advantage for the Finns. Bodes well for them, and they've made an early rotation over towards B, but down goes Jetski in mid, and that allows for XPG to pressure Oscar on that A-bomb site.
Molotov down, it's going to flush out Eyeless. Problems ensue because they're down a man on map point for Dizlown as they look to try and get inside of the B site. And Slowy, he's setting ready, but it's Jesman instead that shuts down the initial entry. Missed shots from Slowy as they wrap around. Good hit, nearly gets 2 as they line up. Looks for the second, it won't happen. And that pulls it to a 1 versus 2. And suddenly, bomb going down with 17 seconds. Oscu, he's got to come up large. That nade doesn't hit the high HP player. It barely does damage onto Lampert as well. And they've got set and ready onto Heaven with 2 eyes to watch toward the Owl's perch because he needs to find 2 kills immediately. And they know he's in the site. Doesn't even matter. Dizlown will force out map number 3. And the French side survive. So that said, Dust 2 comes up next. While we wait for the interview on stage, I'm going to give you a quick update of any other roster changes. There's been none, believe it or not, for the first time in 6 hours. There's been no more roster changes.
Starting to slow down. Oh.
And that said, we do have a third map, but a second semifinal coming up after this. Remember, we have Planet Key versus Outlaws, the Bulgarian team that actually beat off the LGR Finnish side last time and continue to look impressive in this tournament. I think they've been unbeaten, obviously, in series, but all but 1 map. So they're going to be formidable. We're going to hand it over to Snapple, who's apparently on stage. Is he not? I take it back. He's not. We're not going to go. So you know what that means, Vendetta?
It means we're going to a break.
We're going to take a break.
That's right.
Why would Snapple be on stage? We have a third map. I should have thought that through. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Yeah, sorry, I should have known that you weren't going to do that because, yeah, I should have known because it wasn't the end of
Assemble Winter 2017 in Helsinki, Finland, and we have Counter-Strike Global Offensive Tournament day 2, and we have round of 4 starting up. And here with me, I have team Rynnäkköviikset, ILS. So first of all, welcome to the tournament, and how do you think yourself, how your tournament has been so far?
Beyond all expectations, we won our group 2-0, and then we won this quarterfinal against Conquer Gaming, and we exceeded ourselves.
And your team came through the qualifiers. So how do you think, like, does it feel really good when you can show to the other teams that you guys are serious about this?
Yeah, we came through the last chance qualifier, and we just started to play with confidence in this tournament, like we did in last chance qualifier. We didn't play with confidence in the first qualifiers, and now we just tried, and it worked really well.
And you're the first team in the round of 4, so we don't know your opponent yet. But is there any specific teams you are afraid of, or is there someone that you want to face in the round of 4?
We want to face a foreign team. We don't want to face a Finnish team again, 3rd time in this tournament. So I think it's going to happen. We're going to face a foreign team now.
Cool, and thank you, and I wish you the best of luck to the round of 4.
Thank you.
world has been upset, and this is the best it's gonna get. This is the best it's gonna get, and this is the best it's gonna get. Wow.
Sit down and shut up. I don't want to hear a word come out of your mouth. Why won't you listen to me? You're dreaming. Outside life's great, but inside you're screaming. It's not how you thought it would be. Are you hoping for something? Waiting for some sign. Time to jump in or simply get the hell out. I think you better make up your mind. Your perfect world.
Hello and welcome back to those of you who have dared to despair into such a longitude of watching Counter-Strike that has brought us to a third map in our first semi-final. That which was formerly known as Dust 2, and now it is known as, well, it's got its own map pool.
Yeah. Now we're looking at Inferno. So this might be one of the last times we get to see Inferno played in a tournament.
You mean Dust 2?
Well, now it's called Inferno in the map pool.
Yeah, I know, but you just said it was the last time we get to see Inferno played at a tournament. You meant Dust 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually did.
You're welcome.
There you go.
It's a knife
It's good
round
you're looking
as
out
well.
for me.
Do you know what happens on knife rounds?
People stab each other.
Yeah, that's actually correct.
I nailed that one.
Got that
Couldn't
one
get the map correct, but at least I got the knife part down.
Nailed it.
And well, the French seem to be more proficient with the blade in hand, so they're going to get the opportunity to choose what side they want to start on. Doesn't really matter all that much on this map. Probably the least impactful one. There we go. They're going to opt to start as CT. So, what would you like to start as, Matt?
I would
CT or T?
prefer start T on Dust 2.
Control the pace.
I don't really care, though. It depends on what my teammates want, you know? Sometimes it's not about me.
Damn. Such a team player.
Yeah, you know. You know how it is.
Ride or die.
How it is.
Here we are. Well, we're going to get into it. 3 seconds left of the freeze time. Smoke picked up on Petite Scale. He's going to get a P250 with that as well. And a diffuse kit to boot. On the finish side, not any utility actually picked up this time around. They're actually just going to have Slowy move down mid as Meta already removes the better part of the B push. Jetski, though, does return as Slowy also finds one frag, but this is quickly deteriorating. Eyeless left alone in a 1v3 situation. Bombs dropped. Meta's still alive, looking for that 4th kill. Eyeless is not going to give it to him. It's actually just going to bail out completely.
MiG-2's bugging out and going home.
There we are. Well, rotation has gone away from the B-bomb side as well for the CTs. But nobody still towards that A-bomb site. So there is an opportunity for Eyeless if he wants to go long. Just have to dodge a couple of bullets. Play Neo as he crosses over towards that site. He's playing really scared right now. He assumes that someone from the French side has rotated aggressively through long or up to mid. And it couldn't be more off.
And Eyeless as well has access to the A site. A bomb plant, even if he doesn't win the round, is significant because this will allow an earlier buy.
Exactly, and we saw that happen on Cash as well. They went for that 3rd round buy with AKs. And Eyeless, well, if he times this nicely, Petite is not going to be able to see him cross over, and I'm actually going to be able to kill him at least. And there we go, he's over onto the site. Gets the plateau plant down for long. I'm not sure if he actually wants to cross over, though, seeing how he hasn't picked up a USP or anything of the sort. Actually going to drop down. That's very ballsy. Manages to find one headshot onto Lambert, but Petite Scale being close manages to tag him down. I'm not really sure what he was hoping to do in that kind of a scenario. He's hoping to find more than just one frag off of that. Would have been really hard. In any case, though, the better part of that round was decided by Meta's 3 headshots. And the quick B push does not work out.
No, it does not. No, it absolutely does not. Why would you go B? I know you have a spawn for it, but why would you do that? Well, lots of teams do it. I can't criticize. I, for one, always go B. And usually I ask someone to drop me an AWP.
So you can camp out and spawn?
Something along those lines.
Yeah. It's not a bad option.
Dust 2. How we will miss you.
That's true.
Sit back and enjoy it. In fact, I think we should silent cast and just take in its beauty.
Just smile the entire time.
No casting, just enjoying it for what it is. They are going to try and take up Catwalk. Flash goes down toward Car as set to defend the secondary player in position, and that, of course, was Pollux, who's now rotated Lambert back up onto the platform. Keep in mind, though, out toward mid, Jaskew's actually doing damage. He's the only one left inside of middle, and as he's the only one left, they just simply push out Swarm and take him down. Very straightforward. The double high fives come in as always. I want to make a high five with you, Vendetta. Let's do it. What are we going to do?
Well, there's only so many ways you can do a high five.
Really? How's that?
Literally.
I just watched a video where a teacher had a different high five for every student that walked into his classroom. There was 30 of them.
That's different handshakes.
That's a high five handshake, whatever.
I've seen that, though. It's pretty baller. I have no idea how he actually remembers all of them.
Same. Sames.
Samesies.
Well, with that said, it is going to be the first gun round as a result of that early plant. And early gun rounds lend themselves to AK-47s, but not AWPs, unless you manage to get a knife somewhere in there. So as such, it's going to be 5 AWPs going against 2 UMPs, a FAMAS, and 2 M4s.
Eyeless creeping close up in mid. Might get flashed through here by Slowy. There we are. Clears out the closed angles on doors. Pollux, the only one nearby. He's holding off from boxes. He's going to get smoked out as well, so he's not going to be efficient at all. But was that a double smoke? I think that was a double smoke from the T's, so a bit of a waste of utility right there.
Yeah, it is. You can see it on the minimap. It's got 2 circles.
Yeah.
That is an oval and not a circle. our minimap, we are also in-game. We have that privilege. Get wrecked, plebs. As it's going to be Dizlown with the only skill out toward Long. That puts pressure on Plex to cover this off, but he's got Lambert toward Goose. He can bait them in and try and shut them down as the French side would go up 3-0 and winning the first gun round early. It'd be massive for momentum as Plex hits the first shot. Eyeless trying to enter through. He dodges back behind the box, and now Lambert's going to show before they get close. It's only good for one, and that's a problem because Osku, he'll land the shot on the man on ramp. That'll open up a possibility to wrap from quad and get closer onto the site, but Jasmine's on 4 HP, and the bomb is in the hands of the Osku player, the high HP player, who's got a plant, and therefore Jasmine has to protect, but he's left in the open, low HP, caught, and plant just barely comes in to keep the cash injection alive as a 3-round bonus will accumulate. They'll pick up yet another round on the CT side.
Yeah. This is like the Finnish side is a tiny bit flustered to try to pick up or plant down the bomb there on site. Nobody actually covering Cat, even though that's the only place they're susceptible to damage from. That kind of a scenario. Still, bomb plant is better than nothing in that kind of a scenario, as we see Jasmine gets taken out with his buddy Osku. All 3-0 start for Dizlown, and they did start off strong on cash as well, won both pistols. That resulted in an OT win eventually. For now, though, it's going to be Deagles and P250s for the terrorists. And they've actually done pretty significant damage onto Lambert already, down to 4 HP. It does come at a cost, though. Slowly has gone down. And Pollux is going to follow that up with a frag onto Eyeless. Right now, there's no map control gain for the T's at all, and they're down 2 men. It's looking pretty rough.
Rynnäkköviikset is going to be sitting back with just 3, and as you say, rough is a
mild term.
Yeah, mild term. Some people like it rough, and right now they don't like what they're getting, so I don't think rough's the right word. So they'll try and do what they can with bombs sitting at the top, middle, walk out middle, slow play to find picks, and then I would assume try and get up toward the B site. There's still 2 inside of that, and they've not surpassed the first test inside CT, which is meta, yo! And he's taking them down.
It's too meta for them. And our favorite player, Jetski, left his zone. Not going to be successful with it. Double high fives come in as well. I feel like all teams should have like some sort of like a ritual handshake type of deal.
Yeah, I agree.
At least if you're like sitting next to each other.
Yeah, I agree.
You see a lot of failed fist bumps, whatnot. There we go. Well, it's going to be that second buy round coming in from the Finns. They're going to have an op on Slowy this time. We saw him do a lot of work with it on cash. Even though it didn't result in a map win in the end, he certainly did his part. Right now, Lambert trying to showcase that he's not any worse. Finds the first frag onto Jesmond. So man advantage once again in the favor of the CTs. But as I say that, Lambert gets too aggressive and Slowy's there to take him down. Slowy was winning most of the duels they had on cash. And starts off Dust 2 in the same manner.
Slowy as well is now going to set self for smoke because they've got one in front. And grabs the AWP and hopes to do what he can. Watch the smoke in front because there's a CT player that's going to get flashed in. Fully blinded, they both are. And Pollux will try to get away, but Slowy turns around and catches him off. Lovely shot, I have to be said, because that was a 180 reaction to a teammate dead. And Eyeless is going to follow that up, meaning they're in a reasonable position.
Oh, Petit playing with fire here. Ooh, Slowy just turns around at the wrong time. That's going to leave Osku as the sole survivor. Does have free entrance into the B bomb site here for now, though. Meta's outside watching the cross. The big box. Oh, did he not spot the gun tip? Might have not.
Just the tip.
Just the tip, but the tip isn't enough in this scenario.
Well, my tip's enough. I don't know about yours.
Yeah, but
awesome.
Meta doesn't have your tip.
Out. 1 versus 2. Catches one blind, nearly isolates as the blinded player runs away from his teammate with vision. But Meta's good enough for the task on his own.
Yeah, apparently the tip was enough for him.
It was perfect.
It's going to be
just right.
5 rounds in a row. And not to fear, though. It's a similar start to the game we saw initially as well. On cash in the second half.
Where's our mods in chat? This is why I need a sword. Who is this man promoting? And why should he be banished to the depths of hell?
The hell is...
don't worry about it.
There we go. Well, 5-0 for the French. They're looking pretty happy about themselves. Jesmond, though, with the AK takes down Petite Scale, so finally an early advantage for the T's. They've got 4 people committed to that long area to try to get some ground early on. Not going to commit to it though. I think it was, who did we see? I think it was Conquer maybe, who played that long area, like constantly taking long over and over again with smokes and flashes, and then just setting up everything from there. Rynnäkköviikset though, not happy about that. They're going to find another frag onto Lambert, so that's the off gone for now. XPG picks it up though. He's going to rotate over towards that A-bomb site. Smoke goes down to mid to cover off Spawn as well, but the main action is about to happen at long, and Slowey just goes for the long spray transfer. Doesn't quite work out. Does put some damage onto XPG, but well, at least there is a free passage over towards the A-bomb site. Bomb's going to go down here, and Jetsku does have an in pit position or plateau position. This is going to be a very hard retake for the Dizlown.
Nade lands at the feet of the XPG. X does mark the spot where the nade landed, and now he's got to try and work his way in. Nice shot onto Eyeless, but it's ASQ who lines up 2, and down they go. 5-1 for Dizlown.
Minute with the 1-1-1-1 stat. Aesthetically pleasing.
I do think it's the ugliest map in the world. Does too.
That's true. It doesn't look fantastic.
It's absolutely atrocious. I'm betting when we get it back, it's going to be so different. I'm betting these B tunnels are not tunnels at all.
I think it's going to be
betting
like
they're corridors with no roof, so you can smoke inside of the site. That's my guess.
There we go.
Maybe the lower tunnel stays as a tunnel, but everything else will be open. It'll be like a market, like a bazaar. And they'll have all these like textures, and it'll be nice and bright. The sunlight will keep it nice. And
Do you think it's going to be closer to Mirage? In terms of looks?
No, I think it'll be closer to Santorini.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, that would be the more.
Well, they have to keep the dust theme is the problem.
Yeah.
But they're going to want bright, vibrant colors. Speaking of vibrance, it's a vivisection cut apart inside mid with a crossfire from the CTs, and all of a sudden it's slow, and Jitsky remaining to try and set business to course as they give up the AWP as well. They're going to grab an AK. In fact, Jitsky decides, give me the AWP, I'll use it instead, and as such, they'll try and hold this off and catch a pick with bomb down inside of middle.
Yeah, that's the big issue right now. Can be full focus from the French just on that bomb. Lambert actually takes a bit of an aggressive peek there as he drops down for the boxes. Nearly gets caught out. But no harm, no foul. Molotov goes out. Actually messes that up and just kind of isolates his teammate, but slowly on the way in towards B. And he might get caught out here because Meta is on site, back at plateau. Takes him out. There we go. Lambert follows it up with a frag of his own. And it's reset time for the Finns. This is a much rougher start than what they've had in the previous maps.
Yeah, it's not looking graceful. Disgraceful.
There we are. Well, I haven't seen too many timeouts, at least not long ones from either side so far in this best of 3, but you would imagine that the Finns might want to talk things over if they can't find any sort of holes in the defense of the CT side within a couple of rounds. This time, though, it's going to be an eco round. Slowly's picked up a ASUS. I can appreciate that.
I do appreciate that. If this was Rushley's observing, we would have to follow that Zeus religiously as we follow Oscu into his death. It's Lambert that catches him from car. Flash behind him. It's not a bad idea as everyone's looking the other direction. It's Pulox that's able to pull the trigger and take down Jitsky. Lambert's looking pistol pro, but it'll be pistol no as Jesman gets him back with a P250. Now as an AWP, there's a man coming up toward the car, but he doesn't have the angle right. Luminosity sticker on that AWP as well, so shout out to Columbus. And that's going to make it yet another round for the CT side. Dizlown, who's looking to pwn the Finnish team.
Doing a good job of it so far. Double ops, actually, on the French side now. XPD decided to join in on the fun, not allowing Lambert to have all of it to himself. Double V comes in, but nobody's there from Finland to oppose them. Instead, Lambert's going to take an aggressive stance behind the big boxes, and he's going to run into a couple of players here. See if they actually flash for it. They don't. They actually line up instead. Lambert's going to find 2, and all of a sudden, it's disarray amongst the Finnish squad.
Lambert's going to try and find an opening as well with the AWP, but elects to back away. And in doing so, posts the op on A in the chance that they can wrap back to catwalk, which is entirely possible as they still have mid in their control. Tech9s instead, though, will look to bust out mid. Smoke's going to dissolve. They're a little late in their decision, and as if they leave themselves completely pinched off. Pollux only manages one, but it leaves Meta the chance to peek. Does so correctly, and 2 go down. Meta's been a quiet player for Dizlown. We haven't mentioned his name often in terms of getting kill distribution, but what he does do in this particular map is hold B very well.
Yeah, and I mean, he was a big factor on Caps, but it feels like Lambert stole most of the spotlight. I think Meta actually ended up top fragging that game. There we are. Well, tiny bit of a tag onto Meta as he has also picked up his 2s now. So XPG actually pushing very far forward to see if he can get an early frag in that B tunnels, but nobody from the T side is anywhere near. And Lambert one more time up close by the big box. Covered by smoke on top as well, though, as the Finnish team is just walking their way up catwalk. So not giving any sound cues for Lambert to work with here. Well, those nades going out. It's going to be a big tell that they're on catwalk after all. Well, doing the same thing, putting down smokes from mid, not really utilizing them as they want to set up for a catwalk push here. Meta is in position. 2 players drop down from the T side. They're going to get mollied off. Nicely done by Meta. They're just going to get caught out by the second player, though, but Petitskell is there to trade, and Pollux on site still. Doing a good job of removing Oscu.
Nice reaction from Pollux as he sat in a susceptible position on top of Goose. And you're right, the second player on the drop, that's often where the swing player at CT has to cover off. We used to see it all the time. Zipic's responsibility to cover Cajun B when he was still on the TSM team.
Yeah.
What it does mean as well, though, is that if he does not, you have to have a guy at long to be able to trade, and they actually managed to do that, which secured the Goose position and therefore won them the round. So it was a close attempt to try and get onto the ace egg, but 9-1, shocking scoreline right now from Rynnäkköviikset.
Yeah, and then to recover from that shock, they opted to go for a tactical timeout. They need to talk things through. And so far, we haven't really seen much action towards long, which is, well, what the other Finnish team we saw on Dust 2 heavily abused versus, I want to say M&M. I might be wrong, but in any case, they were all about those long pushes with the early smokes down on the corner. Basically pushing heavily forward on that. Remains to be seen. That said, is a tiny bit spawn reliant, though Eyeless does have a decent enough spawn to potentially go towards long. The problem is this round they're not going to have too much weapons to speak of. Tech9's picked up on a couple of them. A lot of utility, actually. They're going to force buy into this here. So we might see that long push after all.
Why not?
Well, they definitely need to try something new. Cat control has not worked. It's the same thing with their mid splits. So
it's timing, though. I mean, some of it seems very basic in terms of the timing. They're throwing the smoke out, but then no one, it's almost like they're scared of the choke points in Dust 2. No one's manning up and actually taking the initiative. Fast boost coming in on Cat right now as well from Dizlown, so they're going to try and dictate the pace themselves post timeout. That puts slow down below. And there's going to be a stack instead with one player in behind the stairs. They're not actually peeking, they just want presence. Cats where they've, as you say, elected to go multiple times. Surprised they don't just take the fight. I would have rushed all the way out to mid. You have a 9-1 score. If they win one, you can reset them anyway.
Exactly.
They call the timeout. Perhaps take the chance and try and catch them off.
They're going to go back to the B split, though. 2 smokes to cover off both sides this time. Still going to get caught out by XPG as he peeks out from door. Pollux as well chips in, and just like that, in a matter of seconds, the entire team is eliminated. And that was a force buy from Rynnäkköviikset. It's not working out whatsoever. And we see XPG with his second frag of the round.
And Meta again stepping up inside of that B side as he finds 2 inside of the doorway.
Yeah, he's sitting at 18-2 right now. Definitely doing a lot of the heavy lifting, and there we go. Finally a frag. Well, initially it goes in the favor of this of the T's, but it's immediately responded by XPG. So even though they removed Lambert, no advantage gained in that sense. And well, they do send Oscar out long, but he's always lonesome against 3 CT players, and that's not going to end well for him. That's the advantage dropped, but just like that, Meta over-rotating towards A there, gets caught out in mid, and that's the B bomb site open. Now, the T's normally not favored, or the CT's normally not favored in an afterplan's position towards that B bomb site, but they do have utility left and they do have a ton of money to waste. So there's no reason for them not to go for this.
All right, let's behind the box on the platform is going to wait for them to try and retake from tunnel. There's one player of the 3 remaining on the CT side that looks to try and do so. 10-1, and a Molotov pushes them out into the gun barrel of XPG. A well-played design, because that also means that they can walk in from tunnel without him in that presence, but the crossfire prevails inside of the site, and the Finns pick up their 2nd round. They need the next or they're reset.
It's absolutely true. Well, they finally get around going their way, though, and it's off of the back of an over-rotation from Dizlown. It seemed like they were surprised by the fact that anyone would show their face at long. So when Oscar goes down, Meta over-rotates towards, or over-rotates from B, gets caught out mid. Well, Petit's going to find Oscar, and Oscar again just being the sole warrior towards that long area, not getting any help from his teammates. So I'm not really sure if there's a solid plan here as to what the Finns are trying to do on their T side. They're going to go again back to smoking off CT spawn. Not pushing it out though, so it seems like they're intent on just finding one more pick before they actually commit to a bomb site. Actually, I say that. There's one T side player here. It's Jesman who's trying to make his way onto the B bomb site all by his lonesome. Right now, it's just individual plays left and right, hoping for the best, but nothing's working out. CT's too structured to mess this up. And Jetsu all alone, all white, all dead. 12-2, and the reset is a reality.
Yeah, decent attempt again, but unfortunately things go from bad to worse as the reset hits hard on the Finnish side. They will keep an AWP in the play. Round 14, Dust 2 is looking to be an abomination. Similar to Donald Trump's hair. As a Molotov and nade get thrown in stack potential toward the B tunnels, but no one pushed out that far with the Tech 9s and pistols that they've elected to bring up in their steed.
For now, looks like mid's the focal point once again for the Finns, and they're going to get shut down by Meta as soon as Jetsu shows his head. We do have an op to work with here. He's already found one frag. Eyeless is going to find a second one on Petit, who's pushing aggressively behind long. That's going to set a rotation into motion from the T side, though. They're moving over towards that long area, but they might run into a nasty surprise at the hands of Polox.
Oh, that lineup, though. Polox just absolutely annihilates, including Jesmond, as they walk in toward that A-long tunnel, dropping bomb as well as Oscu. To try and do what he can with the P250, has 3 to find and little time. I say little time, but little time left to live. So little, in fact, I couldn't even finish my thought. There was 52 on the clock, but down they go. It's going to make it 12-2, and money's in the bin, as Chad would say.
In the bin.
In the bin. We are currently local time at 18:34. Second semifinal, for those of you keeping track, was set to start 34 minutes ago. It will take place immediately after this game, just to keep everyone fully informed.
Lambert starts things off strong with a pick on long. And again, Finnish side is not taking long by committee whatsoever. And it's never going to work out that way. And Polox just casually throws a Molotov right into the smoke in mid. No worries though, they have plenty of money to waste at this point. 12-2, last round of the half. And the T's, it's hard to see what they can actually do with this. Maybe they have to rely on a pick from Slowy on that scout. As of right now, setting up for Catwalk once again. It hasn't been successful so far, and this time they have even less utility to work off of. Oscar with 2 flashes is going to have to hold off Polox. They also have the player and Goose to worry about. Polox starts things off strong, and Lambert comes in there with a frag of his own.
Looks for more, can't land it. Has to back away on the AWP. It's then Polox to get it. 13-2, a dominant half. As I over-dramatize my words to make everything sound more exciting than it is, because ultimately this was a damn squid. This was a poor performance, I have to say, from the Finnish side, especially on a T side of Dust 2.
Yeah.
Je ne sais pas, je ne sais pas.
Je ne sais pas. Mon Dieu. Well, the French definitely showed up for this map. Finns on the other side, a bit of a wet blanket. Well, second half gets going right away. But this is a bit of a Mount Everest to climb.
I'll climb Mount Everest. I'll go hang out with the guy in the green boots.
Oh, that's right.
Green boots, moon boots. What do they call them? I think it's green boots.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google it. Green boots.
Mount Everest.
No, there it is. Second picture. It's literally him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Google green boots. You'll know what I'm talking about. It's rather interesting, isn't it, that just sits up there?
Well, I can't bring it back down.
Well, they can't. Then he's preserved by cryogenic freezing and natural freezing. As the pistol round will commence. If Dizlown win this, I think it's done and dusted at that point in time. Get it? Dusted. I didn't even mean to. I'm so clever sometimes I don't even realize it.
Poet didn't know it. As they say, full armor on the CT side here. No utility to work with. Well, they've got one decoy to maybe use as a fake flash. On the T side, though, smoke and 2 flashes. Probably setting up for that catwalk smoke, as we can see Petit throwing that out right now. It's going to land on big box. And I would imagine that this is going to start a catwalk push, and I can see it here. First flash goes out to clear the corner. Second one's probably going to go over towards sight. And off we go.
Off we go as Slow has to wait. Hold the shot. It looks like he might get that shot from far. He will that time, and the second as well. As XPG is found, it's Jesmin that rotates around. And down goes Petit Skill. I think the Finns might have something in this after all, as Dizlown is going to try and place the bomb down to the site. Never will we get an easy game, even with a fast scoreline. It always seems to be the pistols won by the team that's desperate to win it. And Slowy, he'll find a third kill in doing so.
10-second defuse not going to be an issue. Obviously, with that quick execution of the bomb site. Well, now it's time to mount another comeback. They've done it once before, albeit on Nuke, though. A tiny bit more favorable map to do so on when you're on the CT side. Dust 2, not so much. There we go. 3 SMGs in play, 1 from ASUS. And a Colt up against Tech-9's P250s and a Deagle. No armor purchased on Dizlown, though, and that's probably because of the bomb plug they got in. So they're looking to buy here in the 3rd round. And Jetsku's, well, getting a bit of a stat padding in.
Wants one more, but won't find Polixis up toward mid.
Yeah.
I like it. Spray down with the A1S.
Don't see it too often. Obviously, the 20 bullets being a bit of an issue there. Pollock's just going to try to find his luck on the A bomb site. Slowy's going to be waiting for him, though. And it's going to be promptly executed. So here we have it. 2 rounds in a row.
Oh, I like it. The Finnish side trying to yell over to get them going. Unfortunately, on stage, they wear noise-canceling headphones, and that tactic doesn't work.
If you wave enough with your arms, right? Hand gesticulation, all that stuff.
That's yeah, that's a good point. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
There we are. In any case, though, the 3rd round buy is going to come in from the French. Not that many AKs, 2 Galils and a UMP as well. Full of smokes and Molotovs. But look at the aggressive push from Eyeless here. He's already way up mid. He might catch XPG off. Actually, no, it's going to be the other way around. Nice return from XPG, and the aggression doesn't pan out. But they do have one more player in Slowy in top mid, and that's probably not going to be expected. But does Slowy expect it? That's the big question. He's on a bit of a mission, but he might just get flanked without even realizing it.
Slowy. He thinks he's got the information in doing this, though. The problem is, look at the time. Oh, I think he's gone back. Oh, they're looking for him. They're going to find him as well, because I think he thought they might not be at top middle as he bypassed them all. They slipped into the place where he just was. The man yelling behind me needs to shut up, and because of it, he somehow gets an inkling to look down mid for more information, and they wrap back around and find him on a hunch. So it doesn't work out for them, and as such, they actually have the man advantage Dizlown.
As the pop flash out too long, he's actually going to catch 3 of them, but Oscar is only able to get 2, so equal trade. Not going to favor the CTs here in this situation. Jetsku, only man alive. He's going to opt to save here. It's one of those terrible moments where you just have to realize that the round is over. Trying to hold on to your weaponry, even though it's going to put Dizlown on to 14 rounds. And to make matters even worse, that's also going to be a pretty big hit on your economy. They're still going to be able to buy up. Obviously, they're going to have to. They don't want to let the French team get to match point uncontested, but right now, it's a pretty dire situation to be in.
Yeah, it's not ideal, is it? 14 rounds, French side, dust 2. French sides and dust 2. Maybe we should have expected a good game out of them from this.
That is true.
They're always good on it. Jitski will find one more kill before he perishes at the hands of Futiskila, which is 14, as we said. Money still available to the Finnish side. They break at the loss of this round. There's going to be AKs all around. It's an AK party. I like those. They have them in Rush every now and then.
All right. They have one guy with a Galil, though. He's that guy. He's that guy at the party. In any case, though.
All right, I'm going to go unplug his microphone. XPG lining up. Nearly gets 3, but it's a skill that actually finds 2 on trades. His teammates just play martyrs for him. Sacrificial lambs.
Already, Dizlown showing a better long take than what we saw from the Finns the entire first half. Didn't take them too long. Well, the bomb dropped behind blue container for now. And they're not really moving up any further, but it doesn't seem like Rynnäkköviikset is interested in actually retaking long control here. They're perfectly happy boosting up on short and having Slowy push forward. I mean, Slowy actually might run into a couple of Ts here, as it seems like Dizlown are backing off. They're expecting aggression to come out from the CT side.
They're hoping that they will. Slow is starting to get a little bit impatient and looking for information. If he does consider walking out to mid to look, he might get greeted by a party of 2. Looking for a table at 7 o'clock. And I take that back, it would be 10:50 if I was getting technical that they'd be looking for a table, because that's when the finals will take place. As Slow slowly backs away, and he has to look toward long and consider this possibility, because they're going to start to wrap in from catwalk. If you want to talk loud in the background, I'll talk loud in the stream. I will make up for it. As he looks the wrong way and they walk in, the timing is off, and it's going to be Dizlown with another kill on the way through. Now watch Jasmine inside CT, because he needs to cut off the next player to keep this alive. But watch the tick rate, 2 HP. That is so close, and he's just barely going to survive. That is as toasty as you like. As it comes to a 2 versus 2 for him to walk back down now toward the site. Bomb is planted, and Lambert, despite planning for catwalk, has an AWP. The reason they do that is they don't know what is out toward long. Otherwise, he could get into the pit and secure the position, but nice shot on the way through. As Petite skill goes down, it's going to be an AWP to hold the site. Knows there's one running up from Cat. Now it's 2 HP, but he stays on the AWP, and with just the mere fraction of HP and staying alive in the fire, he will keep this alive with a defuse.
There we have it, barely as well. So, Lady Fortuna coming through for the Finns there. Jessamine surviving with the least amount of, well, inches being on his side for once. Here we go. 14-5. They did mount a comeback on Nuke, so can't really take it out of the question that they might be able to do so on Dust 2 as well, but it's going to be a long road. Osku finds the first kill onto Petite Skill as he tries to move out, but nothing comes of it. Jasmine posted up in mid here. He's going to find one frag onto Lambert, who's already been tagged down by Eyeless. And whoa, XPG actually finds a frag. It's going to be able to, no, not going to be able to pick up that weapon. It's actually going to commit into the, well, there we go. Going to commit into the push, a wide peek and towards CT spawn, and eventually ends up with an AK in his hands. But still 4 players alive. Smoke dissipates. He's one guy on plateau, but aim punch makes that a pretty much impossible task for him to accomplish. And 6 rounds on the board. Well, 6.2 on Petite Skill. So they could have potentially dropped an op for Lambert and done a wonky force buy, but they're going to opt to balance out their economy a tiny bit. Go with Kevlar, or Kevlar on one person, that's Polox, and Tech 9's on the rest. 3 smokes as well. But look at this. Quick boost into mid here from the Finns. Slowy's already up on Cat. Oh, he's going to miss the first shot on the 2 guys coming in from underpass. And that gives up Cat control. Molotov put down to stem the tide, but that's not going to stop XPG. Just runs down into it. It's going to be found by Jesmond. The rest of the team has decided to bail. They're going at mid instead. Jesmond's there as well. He's everywhere.
Everywhere indeed. As Slow, it will flash back in toward middle as they try and back through the smoke. Unfortunately, that's occupied by Petit Skill. Although it's a 2 versus 4, they've got good ground to cover off the rotations in middle. The problem is they lose the man taking the bomb to the site, and it's going to be limited as Petit Skill gets found in the end. 14-7, slowly but surely they claw back in. However, it's a very near miss. If they make one mistake, it's map point just like that.
That's absolutely right. And now we're going to have the bye as well. Oppo and Lambert, as we've seen many times during this best of 3. Nearly full nades as well on the entire French side. Now it remains to be seen where he actually opts to go. CT's focusing on early long control, using flashes to get into position. ASUS going to get into pit. Eyeless holding the corner for now. And Dizlown just setting up in a very standard default. Not willing to push. Slowy, though, has relocated over towards mid with that off, initially going towards long to help out his teammates, but that doesn't do much. Jesmond still shows his face, and Lambert's going to find the first frag of the round.
Well, it's going to be the op getting onto the mid box. Smoke out on door. Trying to find vision is Slow as well. For the same reasons as last time, as they try and go for potentially another mid split on this. They've got bomb circulating over into the tunnels toward B, but that B site, despite being down a man, is occupied. That's a big kill. As they walk through an XPG, he's going to take down Jitskew because inside the site, that leaves it alone. Suddenly it's Eyeless and Oskew that have to pull this back, and a 4-on-2 bomb being planted at triple. And save already?
Yeah.
No, they're thinking about it.
Yeah, Eyeless is committed to saving right now. Oscar's still fiddling with the idea, but Molotov and a smoke, not going to do it versus 4 players. Well, it's going to go to match point for the French side. And this might be too much.
Wow. It does mean a nearance to the end. Not even a word, but we're getting closer. As the 15th round will be gathered by the French, and if they win this, in this map, they go through to the finals. They'll be in the finals. It'll be the second time of the maps casted, or tournaments casted, I should say. Assemblies have casted that there will be a French team in the final.
Yep.
And who will they play if they achieve that? Because on the other side of it, it's the Bulgarian team that's put best foot forward. Outlaws, who've lost 1 map throughout the course of this event, and Planet Key, the German side. There would be no Finns. They would be gone, as Rynnäkköviikset would be out at this point in time.
Meta with a good spawn, tries to get an early pick, but instead it's going to be Slowy to find Polox. Oh, he's going to do so in mid. And finally, a strong start for the Finns. XPG just clearing out lower dark for now. Putting down the flash close to mid. Nobody's there to peek out to clear out the close corners though, because he's slowly posted up in that Fox spot. He's not even peeking right now. I'm surprised he's not holding the angle, but might be expecting a flash.
Slow still looking for the drop shot potential. Every round is a must win. 7 map points. 8 map points, if I do the math correctly, but I didn't want to. I wanted to leave that up to you.
Twitch chat does math.
If you want to learn how to count and finish, just listen to the guy doing so behind me. I'm assuming he's counting down. As Slow will back away and put the op in a different position. Didn't have the opportunity presented to him to go for that drop shot. As the bomb gathers in mid.
And in true French style, it seems like they're going to go with the majority of their players towards B tunnels. Petit Skill, only guy pushing out mid, and he's smoked out Oskew as well. Jesmond is playing outside of the bomb side. He's actually going to be straight up dead. There's only 1 man alive on that B bomb, and that's Jitskew. Doesn't even find a frag. Oscar is nearby though, but the bomb's going to go down. And this could be the end of the Finnish adventure. Oskew gets taken out, instantly returned by Eyeless though.
Instantly indeed. Owl misses the flash, the bounce flash that tries to pop above the wall, and Eyeless and Slow have to retake a very tiny fortified B site. Window's going to be the option for Eyeless as he looks the way through it. Lambert down below on an AWP type proximity to play with that shot. But if he lines them up in a very small corner, it could work. Ops found, it's down in the end. Slow goes into the site, tries to switch it out. Bait tap on bomb and get closer with the pistol wrapping around. Can't find the shot as now. And he'll get the 8th round. The Finns stay alive. 10-second defuse though, does he? I don't think he does. I don't think he does. That's game. That's over. The French win it on the bomb. And it's going to be them in the final. The Finns come close on that round, but overall get crushed on Dust 2, I have to say.
It was a pretty comfortable victory for the French. Just ramping up their game as the game went along. Just started off slow, getting crushed on Nuke. Got back into it on Cash, even though it wasn't overtime, but that really set the pace going for them. And then they started off so strong. I think it was 9-1 initially on that first half, and not too big of a deficit really for the CT or for the Finnish side to come back from.
And that's the last Finnish hope remaining. It's Bulgaria versus Germany in the other semi-final. And that comes up almost right away as soon as the stage is set to rip away, because we've got to get things rolling. The finals start at 10:15, set in stone for the Finnish TV stations. And hopefully we can get the next one rolling right away. But congratulations to the French side. A team I can actually say the name of
Dizlown
will make the final.
That is probably pretty helpful for us going forward. I think we'll be fine with both Planet Key and Outlaws in that sense for the second semifinals. And that's where we find ourselves. So the French get to watch the second semifinals and maybe pick up a few pointers actually as to what they want to play and what they have to look out for.
Well, that said, Snapple on the stage. We'll join back in a second.
Vendetta and Sadakist, congratulations, you earned your first spot in the final. How did the maps go?
So I think the series was pretty tight. The opponents were really good and they showed really impressive skills, individually speaking. Maybe they lacked a bit team-wise, but at the end we make it, and that's the most important.
How did you prepare playing against Rynnäkköviikset?
Actually, we didn't have that much time because we just finished the group stage and we had to go on the stage straight forward. So quite difficult for us to prepare the match because no time for analysis. But actually, the guys did an amazing job.
You don't know who you're going to play in the finals yet, but are you going to watch the game? How are you going to prepare?
Est-ce que tu regardes les games et qu'est-ce que tu penses de la finale? So we will be obviously watching the game.
Je pense que ça va être vraiment un match difficile parce que on les joue très souvent en prac.
And that's going to be a tense match because we are practicing a lot against them, so we pretty know a lot against each other. And it's always tight scores in practice.
Okay, congratulations once again on your final spot. And on that note, it is time to head back to Sadakist and Vendetta. Studion pojat ja tyttö.
Thank you very much, Snapple. I'm here with Vendetta, that is correct. And we now have our first finalist.
We do.
Of 16 teams in this tournament, remember?
Yeah, it's gone by pretty fast though, with multiple games being played at the same time.
That's true.
We actually haven't gotten to see our second semifinalist, or one of the teams in the semifinals, which is Planet Key.
That's absolutely true. Yeah, Planet Key. We haven't seen them at all on stream. They go up against Outlaws, who we've seen now 3 times on stream. So we get a new taste, which they, in fact, had a decent match moments ago. Well, I say moments, about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, beside us, where they were quite loud and enthusiastic. So they're going to be excited to move on. I know they were still sitting over here practicing for a bit of time. They're probably out back relaxing in the players' lounge behind the stage and getting ready to set up. In fact, I already see some of them on stage waiting to do that. So without further ado, I think we can take a break. I think we'll join back in. We will be back with our second semifinals in just a second, or a minute, or maybe, a couple of those. We'll be back.